Well, the king has spoken, Wayne Carey. There's been a buzz around town that the Kangaroos are going to come out steaming here tonight.
I've heard that. There's a bit of a whisper that they're going to be very physical, or hopefully within the rules, but they're going to be very physical and apply it to Richmond, who I suppose the good teams who've beaten Richmond this year have really attacked them in the centre of the ground physically.
Matthew Richardson, it'd be interesting to see who picks up Richo, because in the past, as Dipper told us, Glenn Archer's had that job. There's a huge difference as far as height goes, but Archer's probably won the points over the journey of the last 6 or 7 years. However, Glenn Archer, I think, is not playing as he was 4 or 5 years ago, and I think Richardson is on the verge of his very best.
Well, he's walking up alongside of him, so I reckon he might have him. Here's Archer. Does he go to Richardson? No. McCartney might have him. So has Archer got Broderick early? No, he's going to find someone else surely. Maybe it's Gale. So
well, it looks like Gale will start at centre half forward. That'll put Ottens into
Carey's
the ruck.
going back now. Carey's gone back. So Carey goes back to Gale. So Archer and Carey. Archer's loose at the moment.
Have a look at this. Richmond are starting with only 3 players forward of the centre.
Down in the goal square, guys. A Richmond player down. So plenty of push and shove.
Free kick in the middle already, I think.
And it's coming right the way down, Dipper. Did you see it, Dipper?
Yeah, look, just a push and a shove, but the umpire number 3 actually saw it, and he went down and said to Sheen, listen, it was a free kick downfield. And
I think it was Broderick who got put on his tail.
So Richardson's going to have a shot for goal in the goal square without the ball being bounced. No, Broderick.
Yeah, Broderick was the one who ended up on the ground. I didn't see what happened.
It was Makepeace, boys, I think it is.
Yeah.
It is Makepeace. Oh, what a start. Well, it was tipped that there'd be something happening here, and it has. The siren goes. Carey can't believe it. Campbell there, the other captain. They were tossing the coin a moment ago. We haven't had a bounce of the ball, but I tell you what, we've had a goal.
Well, we haven't got anything against the time clock. There we go, 12 seconds we'll be going. That's how long it took for him to line up the shot.
Have a look at the two captains here, Carey and Campbell, for a moment or two.
Ooh. Well, let's not forget, last week Kangaroos lost the plot a little bit early in the game, gave away those free kicks. Archer gave away 2 50-metre penalties. The emergency umpire's out there.
He's actually goading him.
Now, Bruce,
get out of there, son.
Bruce, go to your little book. Is that the quickest goal ever kicked in AFL football?
It's got me beat, Dipper, but I'm putting it down as the quickest. Off we go. So, start of the match again. Kangaroos trailing by a goal. Campbell gets the first real kick it away as he kicks to half forward. Richardson, Archer and McCartney, they both came at him. Like dogs in a pack they were there after Richo, weren't they? Sav kept his feet, Gasper fell over.
Byron Pickett starting from the full forward goal line, not even at the edge of the square, from the goal line.
Rocker's kick going to be cut off. Andrew Kellaway. So we've got a couple of sets of brothers out there, the Kellaway boys and the Motlop boys. Ottens deep. Little short one. Bowden. Bit sloppy, he's got the big spider. He'll fancy his chances here, Bowden. Keeps his cool and finds his target.
And you can hear the Richmond supporters applauding Duncan Callaway, one of the favourite sons.
And big Severio Rock has been picked up by Darren Gaspar, who's already run him 150 metres to the other end.
Archer takes a beauty, like he did a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, he'll be keen to play well tonight. We just saw McKernan there, his opponent Ben Holland.
McKernan almost couldn't quite, he fancied that one. He had a good look at it and couldn't take it. Bowden's quick, doesn't go far. Grant didn't play against Richmond last time, was dropped for the game. Simpson bangs it to about 30 metres. Carey getting back. Gale takes a good mark.
Didn't have the confidence for the spring there, Wayne.
Chaffee to Broderick, who's already kicked a goal before the bounce of the ball.
Well, they should have numbers, Richmond. Everyone's back at the ball or with it.
It's an ordinary old kick. Ottens has done brilliantly here. Really clever stuff. One out here. This would suit the Tigers, you'd reckon. Richardson, McCartney, but he's done very, very well at the back.
Good test of strength there between 2 big men. McCartney coming out the winner. Now they've got plenty of space.
I reckon it's been a long week for Glenn Archer from last Friday night. He has been waiting to play, hasn't he?
He sure has.
Kick to centre wing. Gale doing well. Terrific stuff tonight. Lovely kicking board.
Ottens push forward.
Cameron bangs it to Ottens. Too far. He had Richardson wide and he had Ottens and he's missed them both. That's unusual for him. and McCartney rolls it over the line.
It doesn't take long, Dermot, for Benny Gale to start assuming the ruck position, and Ottens, who starts at the centre bounce, pushes across the half-forward line. And it's something that the Kangaroos have to watch out, because Spider Burton's runs with Ottens for 2 or 3 minutes, then all of a sudden he finds he's playing as a centre half-back.
Yep. Sinclair short from Harvey, goes short to Shannon Motlop. Looking forward to seeing Daniel, his brother, play. Carey the target, good grab on Richardson. Carey, neat kick. McKernan didn't get a kick last time against the Tigers. It was his nightmare match, probably in his career. King was good to Chaffee. Chaffee wide. Rawlings gets the best of the bounce, but Kellaway back. Handball. Looked a bit sloppy, but it's very effective to Bowden. Bowden in short to Zilla at 50. They're controlling the footy here, the Tigers.
Got all the run.
And the tempo of the game. Zilla to fall forward. Richardson got it. Takes on McCartney and Carey and beats them both.
Well, Richardson's the number one he's played on.
And they've missed. Is it coming back? Or is the advantage... The umpire might have called time on here. Or is the point allowed? There's some confusion.
It's going back, I think, Bruce.
Coming back to Richardson as a dipper?
Yeah.
Or
By the look on Richo's face, I don't think it is.
no. In fact, is it a bounce?
Might have been touched. That ball might have been touched. We thought Richo took the mark. It may well have been touched, and the umpire was a fair distance off it.
So no mark to Richardson. Ottens wins it clearly, brilliantly, in fact. Down to Zilla, up and under. Roderick's handball cut off there by Harvey, boundary throw in.
Horses for courses, little Stephen Zilla there just couldn't get the right amount of ability required at the moment to snap over the shoulder. I'll tell you what, that is one goer on screen there, Zilla. Big crowded forward line here.
Front spot Burton. Gee, well read by Bowden. Chance for Richardson this time.
Joel Bowden, who got the snap kick forward, if he plays a good game tonight, I reckon you probably pencil him in the All-Australian team already, but if he plays a good one tonight on John Blakey, who's on screen there, you could just about say he's written himself in for an All-Australian Guernsey.
So Richardson has been in great form for most of the year. Kicked 4 against the Kangaroos early in the season. Got it. Well, it's just the start that Dennis Pagan didn't want, isn't it? And perfect for Danny Frawley.
Perfect for the Tigers, and we just look at this ruck work here. Joel Bowden, he's the closest player to the ruckman. It's a quick kick, only travelled about 20 metres, and Richardson, he was the one who was able to read it better than anyone else. That's a good start. Good for his confidence, Richardson, because he is a confidence player. And down the other end of the ground, the Kangaroos goal square, David King, the runner, speaking to him. Duncan Callaway, he's tagged. That's a terrific setup. And again, Byron Pickett in the goal square with Tawney.
Burton and Ottens. Ottens probably just got over the top of him. Archer, bang, crash, and kicks the ball forward. He started very well, Archer. Gaspar, well done. Fiora on his wrong side, but he's going to find Chaffee. They've had control, the Tigers. They've had all the kicks you think in the game. Tawney on the burst. Lovely setup. They're just controlling the footy, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the worry when Ottens pushes forward and spiders his opponent.
20 kicks to 9 at the moment of this.
That right there was a training drill. Now, you'll cop training drill. Well, you won't ever cop a training drill, but in time on of a game when you can't win it, you'll cop the opposition doing that too, because you know where you've been, you know how tired you are. But gee, at the 7-minute mark of the first quarter, that's got a lot of worrying signs on it.
He's hooked it a bit, Richo. It's not quite going to get there. Rocker's back, and they build it through the Kangaroos from behind.
Darren Gaspar at the bounce down. Severio Rocker just rushed in there, surged in there, and Gaspar sat back on half-back and thought, you can go in there. You're a low percentage chance to win it. I'll sit back and pick it off, and that's exactly what happened.
Handballs 9-1 for the Tigers. Kicks 21-9. So they're dominating at the moment. Blake. So it's 30 possessions to 11.
They're shutting down the Kangaroos midfield. Very early days yet. They'll probably get into swing into motion, but see, there's nothing on offer here. When you talked about those, I suppose, termed tagging players or close checking players, Wolsey, there's nothing on offer in the midfield from the Kangaroos. They've shut down their run.
Sinclair high, just hoping really. Rocker can't get it. Gaspar bursts away, has some time. Good long kick to Ottens. He's got him. Well, he should have marked it, Ottens. Went one-handed. Handball cut off by McCartney. Make piece under the pump. Left foot off the ground. Knight's clever mark. He's within range and they tell him that now.
He will try to give it off. He hasn't got a lot of confidence in his goal kicking.
Go short. Broderick might get a second goal here.
You're a genius, wasn't you?
I know him pretty well, Dermot, and this fella with the football rarely misses.
Kicked 3 early last week, Broderick. He's had a pretty good season, hasn't he?
Well, he's a team player, and Matthew Knights is also, but Paul Broderick's role nowadays is to play deep in the forward line. He'll often play on a quality defender, and he'll take that defender out of the action. He doesn't mind if he only gets 3 or 4 kicks for the game, because if he only gets 3 or 4, he'll kick 2 or 3 goals.
Let's see if he can add a second here. 45 metres out. Hooking. Might have missed it.
Just one thing I'd say about Severio Rocker and Darren Gasper at centre half, back centre half forward respectively. Rocker will have to play well for the Kangaroos to win the game, but at this stage of the game, I'd just about take him off because Gasper's going to run him ragged early and make him useless for the rest of the game. Give him a breather and let a smaller player go with Gasper and shut down Gasper's run off half back for the start. Not as a penalty, but just as an attacking ploy for later in the game.
Harvey's kick finds Jones. He's played the most games by all of the rookies at Arden Street this year. This is his 12th game. They've played 9 rookies and he's made a mess of it, kicking it out in the full.
Now there, we just saw Severio on screen there, just on the inside. Let's have a look at where he ends up within a couple of minutes. He'll chase Gasper down here.
Kangaroos have started this game as they finished last week, haven't they? Flat and looking ordinary.
Yep.
Kicked to centre wing. Front spot was Ottens.
Again, you've got Spider Burton opposed to Ottens, and that is a real concern. There's Adam Simpson running with Wayne Campbell.
So Ottens getting so much of it early, cut off there by Simpson.
Gets a lot of the ball, even though he's a tagger, he still gets his 20-plus possessions each week, Adam Simpson.
Got over 40, didn't he, when we saw them against the Cats in one of their high points of the year a fortnight ago. Archer, well done. He's getting a lot of it early.
High on the shoulder, I think it was against, it will go to Corey first. David King there on screen.
Kangaroos haven't got a player in their forward 50, Dermot. Just a mass of players across half forward.
Well, you've got 36 players in roughly 1/8 of the ground at the moment.
So Carey from McKernan. So they're 2 gun forwards over the years playing back for the moment. King, just a little shove out was effective. Hilton decides to hack it out of the air. Burton's in the box seat, well done to Rawlings. Gets up and under, won't be easy. Not sure if it's gone the required. It will be play on. Campbell was terrific to Kellaway. Good stuff to Bowden. Tigers with some maturity here, and that's a wonderful kick. That is really clever.
It's just a bit of maturity creeping into this Richmond team. Joel Bowden, 6 possessions now, 5 of them by kick.
Good hands here, aren't they?
Yep.
Terrific hands.
The little get and give.
Kellaway boys involved. Campbell starting it off, Bowden finishing it. Bowden's had 6 kicks and 1 handball so far. To centre wing, Cameron. Well played, Bowden again. Archer takes him on. And if Bowden's the best player for the Tigers, Archer's the best early player for the Kangaroos.
Joel Bowden opposed by John Blakey, of course, and Blakey the senior player. And Blakey had a pretty rough night last week playing on Rashudo, so he'll be keen to do well.
Kerry now picking up on the forward line.
Thanks, Tipper. Jones's little kick. Good by Rawlings to Pickett. Good tackle. Got him. Had him for ages. Free kick to Knights.
Just
Pickett
enough.
was flat last week, wasn't he?
Yeah, just enough on him then just to retard him. Otherwise, you would have said it was a frivolous tackle, but just able to make him stagger at the end.
Knights prepared to go sideways laterally to Gasper.
Run off in here.
Rocker put enough pressure on him to
Yeah,
make
well
the
done.
kick half and half, didn't he? Into the centre.
Did
Still
well.
to be won. Tigers, well played, Cameron. Got it to Kellaway. Started well, Kellaway. Back to Fiora. Back to Tawney. Tawney with a bit more flair in the second half of the season. To half forward. McCartney attacks hard. Motlop, that's Daniel's first touch to Archer. He's had 4 kicks so far, Archer. This is his 5th. Out wide to McCartney, and it's out of play.
I thought Tawney was very, very good last week, so he's found a little bit of form.
How about this early days?
16-3, handballs in favour of Richmond. They're just not winning it, and nobody's running past.
Kangaroos are the 16th team as far as handballs go. They don't handball all that often, but that is really a mismatch, that, isn't it?
Blakey, probably got a high tackle, he'll get a free kick. Centre wing, gee, the Kangaroos need something here to spark them. They're only 15 points behind. Tigers have had so much of it. Centering kick, McKernan the target, dropping across Kellaway, and then Holland's handball to Andrew Kellaway, to Chaffey, to Gasper. Good kick to Hilton. He'll burst here. He's got Clinton King inside. Decides to go down the line. Centering kick in the end. Richardson held his ground. Broderick's kick might bounce right here. Fiora didn't get a good bounce and Motlop rolls it over.
He's got some massive problems here, Dennis Bogan. He just can't get his players into the game. They don't seem to be absolutely desperate like Glenn Archer is, but gee, they've got some problems out there, not running past for the handballs, and they're not winning the ball in the first place.
Clinton King, he's doing a tagging job on Shannon Grant. Here he is now.
Otten's well done. He may get a goal here, Wolsey. It's a good kick. It's a goal. Well, it's a great start for Richmond. It's just a dreadful start for North, isn't it?
It is. And they're just not making the play. They've got nothing across half forward. They're bombing the ball long. Clinton King just given too much space there by Shannon Grant.
There's a Carlton group having a look on.
Yeah, Barry Mitchell on the left, Wayne Britton in the middle, John Worsfold.
They're both Pickett and King have pushed back now, off the back line now.
So what influence can Wayne Carey have here? I mean, a couple of years ago he'd take charge here, wouldn't he?
He'd actually go and win the ball, but now he's just got to use his knowledge of the game. He doesn't just win the ball in that demanding sense anymore.
Simpson got it from Grant. A kick to half forward. Handball by Kellaway, bit ragged. Still got the numbers, the Tigers. Hilton held up on the tackle, gets it out, well done. King's got some space, uses Bowden, that's a clever play. Bowden, the left footer in the box seat, kicks to centre wing, Fiora up against Motlop, boundary throw in. Well, Carey's on Ottens at the moment. They're about 100 metres away from the play. There they are.
Carey playing at centre half back. Danny Frawley would be delighted with that because he can't kick goals and he can't create goals from there.
Motlop's kick, Gale started very, very solidly with a good mark.
I just don't think there's much sense in playing Carey across the back line. He is one of the best forwards of all time. That's where he should be played, and that's where Danny Frawley would hate to see him move forward. He wants to see him in the back line.
So what about Bowden? He's had 8 kicks so far in this first quarter in 15 minutes of footy.
Johnny Blake is just running a bit flat on him at the moment.
Bad kick by Kellaway to Pickett. I think the Richmond at times tonight have been surprised at how much latitude they've had with the footy. Kicking board.
So it's a poor kick.
By Makepeace, not good. Back to Ben Holland from Gale. Chance here for Makepeace. Belts away. Tigers with numbers. Kellaway. Hilton. Well done. He gave up the handball in a hurry to Tawney. They're on the burst here. Zilla didn't need to run backwards. He only had to run forwards. He's given their forwards every chance. Richo doesn't mark it. Ottens, little left handball, and Broderick gets another one. They are killing them.
Minutes into the game and the horse is bolted.
Hilton up and under. King, it's called play on by the umpire. King showed a lot of guts. The handball to Chaffey. Back to Andrew Kellaway. Loads it up to half forward. Richardson the target. Archer terrific to get to the front spot. And then McCartney puts a strong body tackle on, which was pretty effective. Grant, good tackle King. King started very well. And Richmond are winning all the 50-50s.
Yep.
Fiora gets it, bangs to half forward. Richardson's a chance.
Stay down.
Broderick, Knights, Otten's held up. Knights left foot. Round the corner. It's another one. They've got 5.
I don't know what Troy Makepeace was thinking then. He flew up. He probably is feeling so much under pressure down there. He probably thought, well, it's got to be me come over the top and thump the ball clear. But when you watch this ball come in, watch Makepeace leave his opponent, Broderick. And, well, Broderick could have kicked that himself. Yep, under pressure you take desperate measures and not all of them are always right.
These two teams last played against each other in round 6. In the last quarter of that match, it was 7 goals 4 to nothing.
Broderick,
Kangaroos didn't score. It's 5-3 to nothing here.
Joel
Walsey,
Bowden
Carey's pushed forward there, mate.
Yeah, too late, I reckon, Dipper.
Well, I've watched the Kangaroo the last 10 years as a boundary rider, mate. I've got to tell you, it's the first time I find them very uncompetitive, and they look flat as attack at the moment.
Well, they do, don't they? Wayne Carey, as you mentioned, has gone forward. Darren Gasper, his opponent. That means that Ben Holland is now on Sav.
Yeah, Joel Bowden went berserk in the last quarter against the Kangaroos. Round 6.
Blakey, good kick, it's a chance. Just bounces the wrong way.
Well, they're on the board. Now, and not patronising to them, but that's a good thing just to see something on the board for them. I look up now and just don't feel like, well, Corey would have felt last time they played when he got the complete duck egg score sheet.
Just Corey McKernan now at centre half back on Ottens. This is a terrific challenge for him, Dermot, because Ottens is an absolute up-and-comer, a gun player already. Will Corey be able to control him? I'll tell you what he can do. He can go into the ruck with him.
Yep, and Corey's actually run underneath the ball a few times tonight. Ottens will get him his range right for him. He'll get to the ball with hands on.
Chaffey to Tawney. Tawney's kick to Gasper, so he's got Carey up the ground here and runs away from him. Tackle came from Daniel Motlop to McCartney. And McCartney's kick's a good one. Now, first time we've seen David King. He'll go for goal, kicks it low. Bowden getting back, he's got it covered, and it's out of play.
I think Johnny Blakey might have even been moved off Joel Bowden already.
David King, his first touch for the night, and as you said, Bruce, he'll go for a goal. Nothing wrong with that because he loves a goal.
To see the big Benny Gale too, wasn't going to charge him, just stood his ground and said you've got to kick from 55 to 60 out if you want to go for these goals. Just a good knowledge by Benny Gale, very professional, knew his opponent and his likes.
Rocker doing all right. Grant's on his right side, left foot. Can he get back? He couldn't. He gang tackled him in the end. Sinclair, Knights, high tackle, not paid. Goal to Rocker. Sav's kick one.
Well done, Sav. Just needed a little bit of composure there on the death, Sav. That would have been very easy for a big fella to think, hey, I'm not all that nimble. Lays and miss.
We'll just see the ball here. Nida trying to get a handball out. A little bit fortunate that Sav's in the right spot at the right time, but they have worked pretty hard the last couple of minutes to get it down there. I think Sav's been really good value to the Kangaroos this year.
So, yeah, superb. Couldn't agree more. Been good value too, Ben Holland.
32 to 6. So it was 16 to 3 the last time we looked. They've kept the averages up. 32 to 6. So 1-1 to 5-3.
Just means there's not a lot of pressure on them. They can run and carry and just handball off when they like, the Tigers.
Need the next goal, the Kangas, in a hurry, don't they? They've at least got the scoreboard going. They've had the last 2 scoring shots. Harvey very good to Grant. Grant wide. Now Blakey loose as he was a moment ago.
Carey will peel off.
Gasper doesn't go to him though. Good play by Gasper. Now Carey peels off and he's got him. Can he get the distance here with all the problems we think he's got physically?
Gee, 2 or 3 years ago, he'd have got that on his non-dominant side.
He has kicked 32 goals, 10 behind, so he has been accurate, but this will test him. All-Australian captain. 96, 98, 99, 2000. How many times were you All-Australian captain, Dylan?
There's a duck egg.
Carey from the pocket. Can he go all the way? He's not going to kick a goal. Good fly by Burton at the back. Through from behind.
Still sitting on the duck with that one, Wolsey. You and me both.
Hey, Wolsey, he went to Ireland in 1984 with me and put a hamstring in the first night at my club and didn't play for 5 weeks. What a trip he had.
It was fantastic.
So Bowden's wide, long, high kick. Tawney, second time they've gone to him, second time they've found him. Is he all right?
Got a clip there.
He's been reported. Yes.
First game.
Gee, I reckon the boy's a bit stiff.
He hasn't had a kick and leg footy, Daniel Motlop, but he's been reported.
Yeah, I think he's pretty safe when he goes to the tribunal.
Wasn't a clenched fist. I don't think he's got much to worry about.
So Tawney blooded up a bit here and off he comes.
Except that he's a young player playing his first game and they might say, oh, well, we'll teach him a lesson.
There's no doubt that goes through their mind sometimes.
Gee, not much in that.
So,
although Tawney's had to leave the field and the fence going the other way, but I think the kid's going to be pretty safe.
Tivendale's kicked to half forward. Ottens and McKernan, that's that duel we were talking about a moment ago. G. Campbell was in hard there.
See that thing about the the deal there, the ordeal there was Corey's run under the ball twice already as a forward. Ottens will get him on the drop of the ball, so we'll start getting his range against him. Chaffey and Motlop there.
Yeah, young Motlop's not afraid. He says, I'll take you on too, Chaff.
So Daniel Motlop joining his brother tonight for the first time in the first team. And free kick, I think, against the Tigers here for a high tackle. And Clayton at half-back. So Clayton to centre wing. Poor kick, Gasper's got it.
See, their kicking's let them down.
There's no confidence, is there?
No, there's no confidence. They're not running, they're not sharing the football.
They've come out like a team that suffered a huge disappointment in the last week, which they did, by missing the finals. Advantage given here, so McKernan away.
Got no one to go to, Bruce.
He can keep going, no one will run at him.
He's got a fair way down, he's got inside Gasper. Now use Carey. Gee, a goal here would be handy.
He'll balk.
Let's see if he can kick it. Carey loads it up, he might do it. He might have done it. He has. Well done.
Great play.
Good knowledge by Corey there. That is good thinking by big Corey McKernan. Everybody would have seen that the players up the field were too close to Corey for him to kick to as a target. It would have broken down this play on footy. He knew they were thinking that, and they all back. See Gasper on screen there? They were backing away from him, so he held onto the ball. Carey trotted along next to him. That was always going to happen. He was always going to buy himself a bit more room on the angle, and he knows how to finish. With the intensity there.
And Joel Bowden, who started on the wing, he's still on the wing, but a new opponent, Shane Clayton, his opponent. Bowden's already had 9 possessions.
There's Tawney. Had the last 4 scoring shots here, the Kangaroos. They've clipped away, haven't they? They're back in this 3-goal margin. Terrific to see McKernan and Carey combine like that. Grant threw it, did he? To Pickett. It looked to throw on the up, didn't it? That's bad luck for the Kangaroos because they started to work their way back here. Cameron, normally a great kick in this situation from a set play. Hilton's run back very deep. He may try and get to Hilton. He can take a big mark. Oh, terrific effort. Wonderful mark by Richardson.
What about the push?
I saw that one too, Dipper. Yeah, Rory Hilton, if we get another look at that, gave his opponent and an almighty push into the pack there. Let's have a look at it from side on. The mark's there, watch this. He shoved him into the back of him.
Shoved him into Richo.
He did too.
There's Richo, and we can see he's moved, he's led, hasn't got it. This is a good effort because often forwards will give multiple leads. A lot of forwards would have given up in that situation. He back. Oh no. Well, we see the best and worst of Richo in a 5-second period quite often. He can't believe that.
You know what, he ran straight at the goals there, and he's a natural hook footer and just gave himself no room for margin.
Little Harvey takes the kick-ins and often does the 1-2. He'll do a short kick, run past and receive a handball back.
It's a free kick against Richardson, I think, to McCartney.
Yeah, he sucked him in a bit there.
That's what Richo did against Port Adelaide when he got under so much criticism, came under so much criticism 5 weeks ago. Missed from there a couple of times, or once at least, and missed from about 10 metres further out. So it's a let-off for the Kangas here. Burton, Blakey's in trouble, he's gone, I think. Handball back, McKernan. They might get out of it. Clever Blakey, well played to Clayton. Clayton balances, well done to Sinclair. There are a chance here. Archer pumped up, can he go all the way? Let's loose, get some good kick on it. I reckon it's close. It's a goal. They're coming here, aren't they?
6 kicks to Glenn Archer, couple of marks, playing back flank legitimately, and that goal is worth its weight in gold there. Ran off Leon Cameron. Richo's missed at the other end. That's an 11-point turnaround.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Crossley, Jess Sinclair playing on Matthew Knight's. Archer off halfback. He's run well forward. Bit of good shepherding there by young Daniel Motlop, and the Kangaroos are back in the game, which is good because it looked like it was going to be a 1-horse race.
Just when it's that costly, that goal missed by Richo, people say, oh, don't get too technical about the kicking action, you know, a lot of the time. But if you actually watched it, Richo's foot went way over to the left-hand point post and he skewed it off the right-hand side. And action's like golf, it's got to be sweet, and it won't break down.
3 goals in 7 minutes for the Kangaroos. Archer's playing a terrific opening term. Lovely looking kick to Jones. Got back, took the mark. He's got some running players.
He's a good player, this young fellow. He's playing on Rory Hilton at the moment.
Goes long. outnumbered here, the Kangaroos. Burton did really well to belt it away. Motlop and Knights. Knights pushing forward. Sinclair, he's a natural left footer. Can he find a target? He does, short.
Carries one out.
He could almost go all the way here.
If he kicks a torpedo and he gets a bit of purchase on it, he will get it.
Even with a drop punt to him, he's just a beautiful kick, as we know, so he'll make this distance no problem.
65 metres out. Gee, he's banging it through for a... It's a goal.
Got a hand on it, someone.
Over the line, it's a goal.
Okay. That's awesome.
4 goals in 8 minutes. Great call, Dipper, down there. 4 goals in 8 minutes. Tigers should be kicking themselves here.
Danny Frawley would be absolutely so angry with his team that they had the ascendancy and they've let it slip. That is a magnificent kick by Sav Rocker, and he's kicked 47 goals this year to be the leading goal kicker for the Kangaroos, and it was good play by the Kangaroos to just chip the ball to him. I think it might have been Sinclair, I'm not quite sure, but they didn't blaze away. They have just settled themselves down over the last 8 or 9 minutes.
Didn't set up well down back, the Tigers there on the line either, did they?
No.
Didn't have a tall player there to make the fist away.
Petrie on, boys, Motlop off.
So Petrie on for Motlop. Grant out of the centre. Well, this has been a terrific comeback. Tigers actually need a goal here, don't they?
They won't get it.
Harvey bursting. Carey. He's got Jones. He uses him. Jones in the pocket.
See a left footer?
Yep.
Jones will get kicks on Hilton. Hilton backs himself and doesn't play tight, so it'll be a shootout between the two of them.
Well, if he kicks this, after being 33 points behind, they'll be 2 points behind. Goes to Grant, better angle, bit closer. Goal kicker Grant.
And Sudi's left foot.
They'll turn a 33-point deficit into a 2-point deficit right on quarter time. And Danny Frawley will come down the stairs absolutely steaming.
I thought you were going to say come down hard upon him, and he will.
Richmond runner's been out there non-stop over the last 5 or 6 minutes.
He's a goal kicker, Grant. He'll get the angle up, he'll hook it a bit, and he'll load it up and put it through. Well,
they've definitely worked better since Carey's gone forward. Now, he hasn't had big possessions. He's gone forward, but his knowledge of how and what to do at whatever time, that little chip kick over a couple of minutes ago, invaluable.
Yep.
5 possessions to Carey now.
And it just puts pressure on the opposition defence. You can't tell me that Darren Gaspar would like playing on Wayne Carey.
Well, he goes to the number 1 forward, doesn't he? And as soon as Carey came down,
and the other
he's gone
players,
to him.
the other players around Carey, the other Richmond players, they look, his reputation precedes him, and they know that this fella is capable of doing anything. And to see Carey start across half-back, as I said, Danny Frawley would have been pretty happy with that. He won't be too happy at the moment, though.
Otten's off the ground, as we see, boy, the blood rule, bit of a scratch on his face.
Burke on. Thanks, Dipper.
It's only been, say, 12 or 13 minutes, Dipper, but Corey McKernan's been good across half-back.
Yeah, spot on, and Archer's got his hands on the ball, McKernan's got his hands on the ball, of course, Carey, and Rocker with 2 goals.
And Dipper, 10 minutes ago, you told us you hadn't seen the Kangaroos this uncompetitive for 10 years, and I agree with you.
Unbelievable, Bruce.
And
I mean, they were going nowhere, were they? And Archer's pushing forward again, boys. He's by himself at the moment.
And Campbell's only had 3 possessions. I'll tell you what, if Kangaroos get David King into it,
Hey, they might be in front at quarter time. They need a mark and a goal. This might be the last play. Petrie, almost. Tigers will probably get out of it here. And boy, out of it by the skin of their teeth. Cameron at half-back, kicks to centre wing. Talk about 2 halves in 1 quarter. We've just seen it, haven't we?
Been a terrific quarter of football. Tigers were great, came out, had the ascendancy, but Kangaroos, they looked as if they were gone for all money. They fought back enormously well. We've got a real contest now.
Well, bit of both, you reckon, don't you? Tigers may be relaxing, but the Kangaroos certainly charging home. Start of the second quarter on Friday Night Footy. Harvey tried to cut Hilton's kick off and he gets the free kick. So after Richardson's miss, they haven't scored, Richmond, and the last 3 goals of the game since then have gone to the Kangaroos, who in fact have kicked the last 5 of the game after Richmond kicked the first 5. What a first quarter it was. Here's Jones.
got a good pair of hands, this kid.
Got to tighten up, Hilton.
Plays tall, Jones, doesn't he? It's a neat kick. Can he get all the way, though, to Petrie? Not quite McKernan. Does he use Petrie? Not a good handball. And Petrie then coughs it up to Gaspar, to Broderick, to Knights. Knights to Chaffey, Blakey. Good spoil. Very effective. Runs away, Blakey. Kick inboard, hasn't found a target though. They've got the numbers, the Kangaroos. Petrie can't get clear. Tawney hanging on too long. Free kick. No, it's going to McKernan. Is it? No. Petrie. So Petrie's got it. He's a likely type, 18 years of age. A kick to full forward. No one going with Gale. That's disappointing. Takes an easy mark. Rogers on the ground. Uses Hilton. Neat kick. Gasper.
Got to hold him up here. Gasper's got players on now.
Hilton able to get the handball to Broderick. Twists and turns. Clever. Did very, very well, Broderick. Then kicks to half forward. Ottens. Belted away from him by Carey. Back to Broderick. It was McKernan who belted away. Broderick's kicked the full forward. Richardson taken out by McCartney. Ben Holland, the handball misses him from Zilla. Takes them on physically, Ben Holland. Blakey to run onto it. Good tackle, Zilla. Grant got very busy late in the first quarter. Sinclair and Knights. Knights and Sinclair. High tackle, Knights free kick. It was a real 50-50 contest, wasn't it?
So, wouldn't mind having another look at this. Oh, look. Yeah, the high tackle on the back of the neck. That's one that, yeah, technically it's there, but that's one that I reckon the rules committee should look at and say they can be at the umpire's discretion to let play on.
Short to Cameron.
Might just be beyond his kicking distance. He can kick a long ball, been very accurate this season, Leon Cameron, 16-4.
Gasper's gone back, presented himself. Zilla hard at it with Blakey. Zilla to Chaffey, he's a left footer. Good handball to King. Clinton King off one leg, kicks a goal. Well, King coming into the Knights match, he kicked 2 goals this season. He's kicked 2 goals in the first 35 minutes of the game.
His opponent is Shannon Grant, and he's wearing him pretty tightly. But he's also smart enough when the ball's in Richmond's forward line to be able to make space, put himself in a position where he can score, and we've seen that happen twice in the first half.
Just sat out off the back of the pack, didn't he? He was there for a while too.
Good sweeping handball from Chaffey.
Good vision.
David King and Duncan Callaway. Callaway, one of the best taggers in the game. Callaway's restricted King to 1 possession.
It's all fired up there, King. Talking to Archer. Rogers, look away handball effective to Campbell. The Tigers on the march. McKernan has to take the mark, and he does.
Look, he's got it. Well done, Corey. Just looked a tiny bit shaky. It wasn't strong hands around it, but hopefully he'll build confidence out of that and clunk a few more before the game's out.
Blakey wide to Simpson. Just need their good players to have huge nights, don't they?
Well, in this situation, Jeff Walsh said they went competitive one-on-one, and that means not many are getting free, except for a backman who runs forward.
This man set himself for a big night.
And started brilliantly, Archer hasn't. He's kicked a half forward. Lovely take by Campbell to Zilla. Busy Zilla. Archer towards the line. Now he's got Ottens behind him, and he gives up the handball to hurry to Simpson. Might get it back, Archer, he does. So Archer, the big possession getter for the Kangaroos so far, kicks to half forward. Jones made the contest. Rocker held back a little bit at the end, and the ball out of play.
Archer's had 12 possessions playing across halfback.
Rawlings, Petrie, Daniel Motlop and David Teague on the bench. So a lot of their kids are there. Burton versus Gale, a couple of veterans. Benny's played a lot more footy than the Spider, but they're both over 30, 33 and 31 respectively. Tap back. Now, Simpson over the top. Oh, he's been pinged, has he? Well, it's a big call from the umpire, who had his back to the umpire. Campbell's kicking to the centre to Chaffey. Chaffey loves to set it up. Long probing kick to half forward. Richardson gets rid of his man.
He does well in the contested marks. I think he leads the league for contested marks.
Well, they've got 2 of the top 3 in Richardson and Ottens.
You look at him and you think, because he's so athletic, you think he's going to get out on the lead, he's going to jump over them. But he's such an enormous man, he wins the body on bodies as well. Now this is where he's better range from here than the one he missed from 20 out, because he gives it his natural hook foot. Out he goes. He's fallen over and he's still almost going to go close.
It is close, but front spot, Bowden.
Well, Clayton's moved onto him. John Blakey gave kicks away on him. He got plenty of kicks on Blakey. Clayton's tightened up on him a bit, but one thing that Clayton won't be able to do is go with him in the air, whereas Blakey was capable in that area.
Should be his 25th goal of the year. Been in great form, Dermot.
Oh, super.
So the Tigers have come out well here with the first 2 goals of the second term. Bowden gets it.
He's a star, this kid. And Richo's having a bit of a laugh about, look, when that ends in a goal, fantastic. But it's amazing, wasn't it? His missed kick almost made it from 50 out. They said there's that little hook foot, and even though he fell off it at the end, he still almost sconned it.
58 contested marks going in, Dermy, compared with Rocker and Ottens on 50. So he's clearly number 1 in the league in contested marks.
Yeah.
That's why you tape your ankles if you see that one on Richo. Could have rolled that.
Dennis Pagan would be disappointed that Bowden marked that in the goal square, because there were plenty of other Kangaroo players back there bigger than Bowden who should have got a fist on it.
He thanked Ottens immediately too, Bowden. Ottens was involved in the big pack. Play on called, didn't go far enough, so King's kick to Jones.
Gee, Byron Pickett has to get into play. Only one possession, one possession, yeah, to Byron Pickett, like David King.
So King might double it now. In fact, he will. King and Pickett both down, out wide to Clayton.
He finds space, Clayton.
Clayton centering kick to Carey, got him. Now he can go all the way here, Carey, and kick a goal. That's what the Kangaroos need.
And Darren Gasper's sneaked over the mark. The umpire says come back.
He's not going to waste any time. Vacant goal square, gets underneath it, but it's a good kick. He's done it again, the King. He's kicked 2.
You might lose your flexibility, you might lose your ability to jump, but one thing you don't lose is your pure ability with the football. And his is as good as anyone's ever was. Watch him here, he knows when to lead. It's great camera work here. He's just snuck off Gasper. Gasper's tried to zone off him.
Yeah, Gasper just didn't have touch, didn't block his run. Darren would be disappointed with that. That's his second goal of the night. It takes it to 670 career goals, which means he's the #1 goal kicker in the AFL at the moment.
That'd put him inside about the top 20 of all time, I'd imagine.
I think he's 18th going into tonight, so it's a great return for a bloke that's played up the ground at centre-half forward, isn't it? There'll be very few pure centre-half forwards on those numbers. Tawney's kick to half forward. Bit of wrestling going on there. Blakey had hold of Chaffee. Hilton loads it up. Goes to full forward. Makepeace works to the front. Does he get a free kick? I think he does. Did well on Broderick.
And Broderick acknowledged the umpire. Yeah, you got that right.
In short.
Sweeten up the umpire, do.
Yeah, I'll always tell the truth.
Again short. Kanga's working hard here. Makepeace. Little kick. Need off the boot to Clayton. Runs onto it.
Look for Byron Pickett coming through the bottom of the screen. He's gone past. He's just got to get into play here.
Clayton centering kick. Kangaroos outnumbered, but Rocker made the contest. Motlop held up. Good play by Ben Holland. Then half a throwaway there. King maybe high on Kellaway. Kangaroos working hard. Carey blocks Hilton cleverly to Motlop, who can be very clever. Is it against Carey?
Rory Hilton's been put down behind play. I don't know if there was too much in it. He's jumped up, but umpire Sheehan was quick to see that. And it looks like Wayne Carey went out of his way to knock him over.
All tucked in. The elbow was in by the side. That's just 100+ kilograms getting you with a side-on bump, and that's going to hurt.
Oh, Bowden, what a mark. He's going to make a free kick.
Yeah.
Super mark, wasn't it?
For the stat sheet, you prefer it on the mark. At the end of the day, when you look back. They stack their back line now, the Kangaroos. Good professionalism here, though. Under fire again, the Kangaroos. A couple of quick goals from the Tigers, so they stack it back there. Look at that pack forward line.
Otten's a big fly. Oh, that's a mark. That is a real pack mark, isn't it? He's number 2 to Richo, alongside Rocker in contested marks this year.
Well, we've got the 3 best pack mark players in the game here tonight, and well, we've seen some terrific ones in the contest.
Here's the Carey Hilton incident again.
Well, maybe not that high up on that.
Maybe McKernan got a finger, but Otten's great mark. It's been accurate. I know you love his kicking. 38 goals, 18 this year. You normally go on for about 2 minutes when he lines up for the first time. Jeremy, give us a bit of it. How well he kicks
He's
it.
just special from this range, isn't he?
Let's see.
I'll put my house on him.
48 metres out. It's a good kick. It's a lovely kick. And your house is worth a bit. So he's kicked his first. And the Tigers have got the answers at the moment.
Pretty costly free kick against Wayne Carey because it happened at half forward and the Kangaroos were going forward. And you can just see gripping and grabbing there, McCartney. I don't think that's a clean mark.
Jump to the pack too, Corey, rather than staying with his man.
So back to 14 points the lead, 8-4 to 6-2. Just wonder how long the Kangaroos can keep answering the challenge, don't they? They've done it once. Can they keep coming back hard? They'll need to. Gale uncontested, really, and Sinclair over the top. Ball comes out, and now a ball up. Benny Gale, Danny Frawley wishing and wanting he'll play next year. That seems to be the way it'll go. 33 years of age.
I think he's been good for them, Bruce. Over the last couple of years, he's been in very good form, Benny Gale. And just protects Ottens from the ruck work, 100% of the ruck work. Just means the kid can develop slowly, and that's a good way to go.
Gee, Archer was brilliant. Pickett put the tackle on Archer, and good vision to Jones. He's at about 52 metres.
Centre square breaks are going, the goals are going with whoever gets the break.
Carey, can he get onto it? No, it's a behind. Jones doing well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a talented kid, isn't he? He's almost, look, dare you ever say Royce Hart, but he actually floats from the side a lot of the time when he comes into play.
Broderick off, David Burke just come on. Leon Cameron to do the kicking in. He's a wonderful kick. Tigers have broken from the huddle at centre half back, but the Kangas have just about got them pegged.
Byron Pickett on the mark.
Gale gets it.
Lovely kick. That's a 60-metre pass.
So Gary Ayres has been copied a bit here with the huddle. Gale to centre wing. And Ayres, you'll say, Wolsey, there you go. It only got to centre wing.
Well, Nigel Smart gave us the answer on Tuesday night, Bruce.
He gave us a lot of things, didn't he? i7sport.com.au. That's the sports internet for 7, and you'll see all the details of tonight's match and the previews of tomorrow's games on there tonight. Gale to Hilton, to Harvey.
Zilla's made life hard for Harvey tonight.
Well,
And so's Jess Sinclair.
Harvey put his hand up to Dennis Pagan there, made it blue, but in the end it wasn't. He put Knights under that much pressure that it probably worked in their favour a bit.
Jess Sinclair's been putting it on.
It's an interesting one, Bruce. You say that Harvey put his hand up as soon as he made the mistake. That's something that the Kangaroos are instructed to do. If you feel you've made an error, put your hand up so the coaching staff are aware of it, that you know that you've made a blue.
Is that saving the runner's legs?
Yes. Some blokes putting their hand up a fair bit, Durham.
King, wobbly kick to half forward. Jones got first grab of it. Running onto it, Grant. Can he get it back out to Jones? Hilton working hard down back. Grant gets a second crack. Tawney over the top. Hilton and Grant. It'll be a ball up.
That's tiring stuff, that.
Clinton King really sticking pretty close to Shannon Grant.
That was a good puff and blow there, Rory. It is tiring. So when it stays close into you and it's on the deck and it keeps coming back to you, they're the ones you hate.
I'm still to work out what position Rory Hilton plays.
Sinclair, the ball's in. Front spot, Holland. The little one to Gasper to come away now. They've been a good combination, Gasper and Holland, all year. Rogers on the end of it. Does it sit for him?
Benny Gale's in a bit of trouble way behind play, Bruce. He's got a crook elbow. He's hurt that a couple of weeks ago. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is a long-term
looks broken,
thing.
Dermot. Looks like it's worse than just saw, mate. He's just hanging his elbow down here with his arm.
No, on the eve of finals, that is not what you want to hear if you're a Tiger supporter, and especially if you're Benny Gale.
Well, it makes it the Tigers' game plan is to share the ruck work with Ottens and Gale, which has worked so well this year.
Knights from Ottens.
He's in strife.
Back to Bowden to Zilla. Zilla hands and knees, so Gale in trouble here. King was terrific. Really good play to Richardson.
Timmendale on the left.
And he goes out right, Tipper, because out there he's got Rogers. They were streaming forward, the Tigers. Hilton's changing his boots here at centre-half forward.
Gee, I always feel nervous when Richo kicks off one pace.
Matthew Rogers, he's been one of their medium-sized goal kickers for the last couple of years. He can play half-back flank, he can play midfield. He's just been down a little bit in recent weeks. He'll need this for his confidence.
Kicked 26 goals this year, so he's had plenty of goal kicking, and it's close. They like it. Well, the Tigers sneak away, don't they? 9 goals to 6 here. They're starting to get on top again.
And good team play by the Tigers. Zilla doing a pretty good job on Brent Harvey, really making life hard for him. Couple of taggers there. Zilla gets the handball out to King. King's doing a tagging job on Shannon Grant. He shares the ball to Richo. Richo, in turn, shares it to Rogers. A lot of players would feel good about that.
Interesting that the two taggers you're talking about, King and Zilla, have had 16 possessions between them and a couple of goals there. It's a bonus, isn't it?
It's a win-win.
So Tigers on top again. They're out to a 3 and a bit goal lead. Hilton with new boots, probably gone for the longer stops to Rogers, to Hilton. Good hands to Knights. Loves to deliver Knights. Kicks to half forward. Good mark. Geez, a wonderful mark, Ottens.
Never looked like dropping that. He just put his hand up as he ran back. David Burke on the sprint.
And goes to him. Archer at the back. Fierce, but he goes to ground, and Burke can kick a goal. It's touched to behind.
Kangaroos have got Petrie in the ruck.
So, it's a good mark in the front from Ottens.
Super mark. Well done by Richo too. He kept at least McCartney out of it.
He's a big man, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
David King. Through the centre. Carey going the wrong way. Gasper, big fly from Rocker. Can Pickett do something? Clinton King having a really good night. Now Pickett. Handball to Jones. Sweeps it to Makepeace. Makepeace spots up Grant. Can he take a big mark? No. Rogers back there, and then Duncan Kellaway. It looks pretty good tonight, doesn't it? Short to Tawney. Tawney to Clinton King. They can hurt here on the rebound. Tivendale is a searching kick, we know that. Out wide, Richardson, Ottens. Oh, Richardson's got it. Talk about twin towers. They've got them, haven't they? The Twin Peaks.
Well, that's their greatest asset as they go into the finals, the marking power of Richardson and Ottens. And, of course, we saw Tivendale doing what he does best, running through the midfield. The runner's out to Tivendale, patting him on the back. That's a 55-metre long, low, hard drop punt. Sort of kick that the forwards love to mark.
Who does Fletcher get next week first up? Does he get Ottens or Richardson? I'm thinking about the Bombers.
I think Richardson.
Richo, is this his 49th goal for the year? It's not going to be there, and it's through for a behind. So again, Richmond dominating here, but they haven't quite put away the Kangaroos. It's 9-6 to 6-3.
Just on Benny Gale, boy, they're just strapping up his right elbow. It looks like more of a corky just above his right elbow. Still a lot of pain icing up at the moment.
I was just thinking, Dip, he's played 241 games, only 3 finals. He'd be desperate to get back.
He'd be thinking to himself, what am I doing playing in these ones? I need to save myself before the finals start.
Clayton to Teague to McLaren. McLaren debuted against Richmond for the Kangaroos earlier this year after playing with the Saints. Free kick. Is it to Shannon Grant?
Well, he drew that one because he actually put hands on his opponent. Who's he got down there? Kellaway. Duncan. He actually put hands on Duncan first, and then Duncan found himself out of it by virtue of the original contact from Grant and reciprocated, and that's what the umpire saw. He's turned him around there. The contact was before that, the original one. He's done well there, Shannon Grant.
Should kick a second goal here to keep them very much in the game. To think that he didn't play against the Tigers earlier this year because he'd been dropped.
Yep.
Hasn't he turned his season around? Straight in front. Oh, he's got it.
Steve Kernahan, eat your heart out.
And a bit going on here with King and Bowden. Actually, more like Ian Perry these days, eat your heart out. Perry from the Crows last week.
Yeah, he got a few, didn't he, that didn't spin quite right. Well, the big fella goes in there. He'll sort it out.
You can see he just wants to be in the centre of it, Kerry, doesn't he? I mean, he really wants to play a huge role tonight.
Absolutely.
David Burke playing at full forward for the Tigers. Danny Frawley's told him, go to the goal line and take Glenn Archer out of the action. Archer's had 12 possessions to this stage of the game, so he just doesn't want Archer near the ball.
Sinclair, Knights. Harvey back to Pickett. Sweeps it to McLaren. His pace important here. Goes to full forward. Too high for Grant. Mark taken by Chaffee. Grant's disappointed with the delivery there.
Yeah, he knew he was in front, just a better kick, and he takes the mark.
Kellaway, that's Andrew.
Big lead from Richo. Down to go over him.
Cameron. Not a good kick, and McCartney marks of Richardson disappointed.
Yeah, Richardson glaring at Leon Cameron.
Do you reckon that's the first time Richo's glared at a teammate over the years?
First time in the last 5 minutes, Bruce.
Here's Sinclair.
Corey's way down the ground here.
Loads it up. Good kick to McKernan from Sinclair. Should have taken it. Handball to Clayton. He's got some space. Inboard to McLaren. He's been important in the last 5 minutes. He can kick a goal here. Can he hook it back? It's a behind.
Well, that could have been very handy.
They're coming back a bit though, aren't they? 9-6-7-4. Gale off the ground.
He's in a bit of distress, isn't he, Big Ben? I tell you what, McLaren's given them run, broken them open from the wing to half forward 3 times in the last 5 minutes.
He actually played really well against the Kangaroos in against Richmond, his first game for the Kangas. Sinclair getting a bit. Here's a chance to fall forward. McKernan.
And terrific shepherding and blocking down there by Shannon Grant enabled Corey McKernan to take that mark unopposed. Sinclair did well to take the kick in mark, and we'll see here, kicked in by Chaffee. Jess Sinclair holds his ground, plays on straight away, puts it back. McKernan's the target, and you just see enough put on there by Shannon Grant to keep Chaffee out of the contest.
He went at it with confidence. You know, I reckon Shannon Grant told him he was going to be all by himself.
Has to kick it, McKernan. As he squeezed it in, he's got it. It's a goal.
Corey's the kind of guy now, he'll get a little bit of confidence out of that.
What about Danny Frawley? I mean, it's happened the second time here. They led by 33 points. In this quarter, they got to, I reckon, 20 points at least. And now we've tightened right up again.
He's played pretty well, Jess Sinclair. 7 possessions. Picking up Knights, who's had 8. So, look, that's a win.
Corey McKernan now's got himself at centre-half forward for the Kangaroos. Because Benny Gale had to come off, it's just meant that Ottens has to do the ruck work. So Ottens is no longer at centre-half forward. It means that McKernan can go up the other end of the ground. That's a real win for the Kangas.
7-man forward line for the Kangaroos.
So they've kicked the last 2 goals. They've turned a 21-point deficit back to 8. They turned a 33-point deficit in the first quarter back to 2.
All the numbers are up the other end, so nobody will be at Clayton to give him pressure.
McKernan the go-to. One hand up. Kick was high. Rocker at the back. Holland will run it to the line, you'd think, and he does.
So Spider Burton back on, boys. Petrie off. He's done a pretty good job in the ruck in the first 10 minutes of this quarter.
I tell you what, the Kangaroos got 7 in their forward line, and if Dennis has designed this, it means that there's 1 or 2 players less in the middle of the ground, and the Kangaroos midfielders are finding it easier through the likes of McLaren. No traffic around them. They're able to run forward with it.
Clayton, Sinclair, another 2, Dermot. They're getting some easy kicks, aren't they?
Yeah.
So 3 of their running players are getting a bit of the ball.
It's almost like you've got so many midfielders. Can we get them out of the way and open it out? And they've had to manufacture that situation by pushing them forward and leaving it a wide open midfield. Now there's number on number here, 1-on-1s everywhere, and that'll clean out pretty quickly after this bounce.
3 go for it from each team, and Jones belts it forward. Simpson got a beautiful bounce, got a good shepherd. Funny old wobbly kick, but it's a good centering kick. Oh, that's a great mark by Jones. That's a terrific mark.
Gutsy mark, and a terrific centre by Adam Simpson, who was able to hook it back on the left foot. And Simpson's been playing on Wayne Campbell. Campbell's only had 6 or 7 touches to this stage of the game, but just a terrific centred kick.
Got a change down there, Dipper?
Yeah, Rawlins on for Rocker, and also Broderick on now for young Fiora.
Campbell 7 possessions to this stage of the game, 26-minute mark of the second quarter. That'd be about half of his normal quota.
But there are a lot of notable absentees in this match tonight. Top-class players like Pickett and King for the Kangaroos. And
no effect, have they?
Campbell, I guess, for the Tigers.
Pickett's had 3 possessions and David King's had 3 this quarter for his match tally of 4.
Jones has taken 5 marks tonight. That's a good kick. He's got it. They're back to within 2 points again.
Well, this could be devastating. I mean, this will really test the Richmond players' mettle if the Kangaroos hit the front at half-time.
Simpson got a terrific bounce. Makepeace just got rid of Campbell, didn't he? And it was a wobbly old kick, but it was a centering kick, and that was the right place to go. Pickett, I thought, might have been the man he was trying to get it to, because he was on his own.
Yeah, he was feeding down the ground.
Gee, Dennis Pagan will show that mark over and over again, won't he? That was just terrific stuff.
Good kid. And Danny's saying, what's going on here?
Yeah, he's pretty frustrated.
It's the Kangaroos coaching box.
Well, they've given the Kangaroos 2 lives to half-time, haven't they?
And you look at this wing here, they're leaving it totally vacant this side, Kangaroos.
Tivendale out of the centre, but he's unlucky, Shannon Grant. Tivendale actually fell over when he was coming in.
Yeah, when he cannoned over him.
Now, this is where he's dangerous, Tivendale, with his long left foot.
Oh, great kick.
It's a good kick, isn't it? Richo, gee, that's good play by King to get back. Broderick to Kellaway, Duncan. Wobbly kick. We knew it wasn't going to be a goal. To centre-half forward. Spider, that's Burton.
He's roved his own crumbs.
Mark taken by Cameron.
Didn't go at it, Byron.
No. Took his eyes off of Byron to get rid of Kellaway, didn't he? Out wide to Rogers. Archer to... Now, Burke's wide here.
Well done by Glenn Archer. Just held him up enough and got the latitude from the umpire.
Ottens and Richardson. No mark this time. Jones. Good play by Richo. Back to Harvey. Clever handball. Blakey. Well done. Really well done to Makepeace. They were under the pump there and they got out of it. To McLaren. Can they go all the way here and hit the front at half-time? Can they take it all the way down the ground? Clayton to Pickett. Even he must be injured, Pickett. He doesn't want to break a line.
They've got space. Corey McKernan's going to have to kick the last goal if they do.
He'll go along to the square to McKernan.
Carey's kick there. McKernan, was he held on to? Ball comes to ground. Tigers with the numbers. Chaffey, Rawlings, McKernan falls over. Chaffey gets a second go to Holland. To Knights, they'll get out of it, the Tigers. Knights away. They led by 2 points at quarter time, and they're going to lead by 2 points at half time by the look of it. Tivendale in trouble. No, gets a free kick. Well, second free kick to Tivendale within a minute. What a strange first half of footy we've seen. You're going to have to dissect all that after half-time, Wolsey. And I want to talk to Dermot about Carey after half-time and just where the King's at. Who better to talk to than the kid about the King? But Gale in trouble. Well, this game,
he's hurting,
with huge repercussions, particularly for the Tigers, is up for grabs. Second half about to start. Friday night footy at the G. Not a bad crowd. Close to 40,000. Thought there might be a few more here. But boy, they've seen a strange old match. Can the Kangaroos hit the front? They haven't looked like it really until late in both quarters. And then they've challenged strongly. Cameron's kick to half forward. Richardson, who's had a reasonable night, but that missed goal was costly. McCartney away, runs a couple of bounces, then really short to Carey, got him.
That's that position centre forward. You just get punished like that. Now that doesn't look much, but you get that about 600 times over 4 or 5 years and it hurts.
McLaren out wide. So Carey still very influential here. McLaren got a few touches late in the second quarter which were important.
Let's look for Pickett and King this half.
Gee, Harvey and Pickett to do the high marking. They didn't have much in the square, did they?
No, not much back at all.
The bounce just stays in. Tawney, been told he's got a broken nose. Kick towards the wing. McCartney and also Richardson out of play.
Well, the Kangaroos, they've got Wayne Carey, Sav Rocker and Corey McKernan in their forward 50. So no doubt the plan will be quick and long into that forward 50. Give the big fellas a chance to mark. Byron Pickett underneath them. Tigers have got Richardson and Burke, the talls, in their forward line. Benny Gale off the ground really hurts them.
Kangaroo bench, the two Motlop boys, Rawlings and Petrie, sitting on the sidelines.
So There's Benny Gale. Urging on from the sidelines. Rogers, Fiora and Zantuck. Zantuck hasn't had a run yet. Fiora started.
Is he as professional as he looks from the outside, Benny Gale, Wolsey?
He's terrific. He's one of the best clubmen you could ever wish to have at your footy club. He's respected by all of the players, the supporters, the staff. And he's important to Richmond. He's one of the on-field leaders. Gives a lot of direction out there.
Still chirping away there. It's right in front of him, the action.
Ottens, Burton over the top. And again a ball in.
Kangaroo youngster David Teague, he's on and picking up Broderick now.
Yeah.
Boomer Harvey.
Duncan Callaway dropping back to the forward 50 for the Tigers. He's trying to drag David King out of the action.
Trying to get King in a one-on-one overhead, I'd say.
Ottens down to Grant. Ball out. Campbell. And again, gee, the Tigers, this is just such a huge game for them. For all the good work they've done this year, lose tonight, they lose just so much ground. They go to the top 4 if they win tonight.
Well, if they lose tonight, Bruce, obviously confidence goes down a little bit, and then they face the Bombers next week.
And they will be certainly out of the top 4 if that happens, and they could be in the lower levels of the top 8.
And if you want to find out what they do with it, in the stats, i7sport.com.au, get all the stats.
Campbell's banging, kick to half forward. So the Tigers have got to play this game like it's a grand final. And the Kangaroos would love to take a couple of scalps late in the year. McLaren, he was in a bit of strife. He had to go wide to Blakey. He refused to kick it because he had Tigers in front of him.
And it's the right option, actually, because had he kicked it, it would have come back at him twice as quick as it went there.
And the only way he could have kicked it and not having it come back straight away was to kick it out of bounds deliberately, wasn't it?
There's only Tigers ahead of him.
Well,
no ruckman here.
Where can Richmond get their inspiration from here? They've had dominating leads a couple of times tonight. And, gee, with Gale off the ground, Wolsey, you've been talking about his influence for a lot of this year. I can see what you mean. I mean, suddenly they do look one short, don't they?
Well, that's right. And Ottens is doing the ruck work. He was sitting across half-back. He's gone across to half-forward now to compete against Spider Burton.
Ottens just got to the front, probably won it. Handball out from Zilla to King to Bowden. Left foot, okay, out wide. Finds the target. Rogers off the interchange now. Goes to full forward. Richardson almost got all over the top of McCartney. Probably should have held it. Carey held on to in the end. No free kick. And Teague gets in there with a couple of... Burt goes down with a couple of Tigers ball up.
And Wayne Carey's not all that happy. He really did back himself when Burt came to tackle him.
Yep.
You see, he's got the ball there. It just slips away, I guess. He's probably looking for a free kick. I think that's the right call. Play on.
He's pulled the ugly face there, the duck.
Tried everything to get the kick, didn't he? Kellaway, King, not going on there. Simpson. Gee, a goal here is important for the Tigers. Ottens might do it single-handedly. He has. He's a towering figure and he's kicked a huge goal. He is a colossus. He is a young god of the game, isn't he? 10-6 to 9-4.
There is no doubt that Brad Ottens will break even, if not win, the ruck contest against Spider Burton. So there's no worry about Ottens doing the ruck work. It's just that they lack another key forward when he's there.
That's a huge goal.
That is good play, isn't it? He's a leader of that club.
Well, Wayne Carey still up forward. The goal to Brad Ottens there. I thought for the last couple of years he's probably been rewarded financially pretty generously, that man on screen, but he has paid them back and with interest this year.
McLaren and Chaffey. So the trend continues. The Tigers get the first goal of each quarter. They got the first 5 of the first quarter and the first 3 of the second. You'd reckon if they get a third big lead, they won't give it up.
Well, I'm sure that Danny Frawley got stuck into them at half-time. When I say stuck into them, he would have given them a bit of advice on, hey, if we get these 2, 3, 4 goals up, we just have to play tight, accountable football when the Kangaroos get it.
Ottens takes it out of the air again, kicks to centre half forward. Chance here at the back, McCartney. Rogers, McCartney's little handball to Teague. Kept his cool, wanted the boundary line, he finds it.
Because that's what happened in the first half. Tigers got away to 3 or 4 goal lead, and then too many Richmond players didn't take responsibility for opponents, played 10, 20, 30 metres from them. And of course the Kangaroos will get their turn with the ball, and if you don't put pressure on them, well, they've got the players who can score. So Danny Frawley would have really stressed that at half-time.
Campbell got it from Ottens. Ottens having a big term here. Campbell's kick, bounce, Archer. Well, he takes them all on, but they get him at the back. Burke got him for the back. Duncan Kellaway's kick a bit off the side and out of play. Gee, I saw the Tiger faithful a moment ago. They've been coming to the footy for nearly 20 years to see their team in the finals just once in all that time.
So much of a return, Big Plenty Archer. I'll tell you what's a real interesting concept at the moment. Kangaroos are trying to get David King free. Kellaway's tagging him, so they're trying to put Teague onto Kellaway, so you've got 2-on-1.
McCartney's kick fortuitously probably found Harvey. Harvey bouncing down the wing to half forward. Tawney and Jones. Jones a good play in the first half. Boundary throw in.
I think David King's the player for the Kangaroos who really needs to lift his output in the second half.
Still only 4 possessions to David King.
There's those Tiger fans we're talking about. Wolsey, you would have endured them a bit and also enjoyed them a bit.
The most passionate supporters of any club you could wish to find. Gee, I used to get a lot of letters, Bruce.
I bet you did. I reckon 1 or 2 of them wouldn't have been complimentary. Sinclair?
No, 1 or 200
a week.
You talked about David King. Brent Harvey's the other one, Wolsey. I mean, 6 and 6 for him are low numbers at this stage.
Well, they are, and Zilla's been doing a tagging job on Brent Harvey and doing it really well. Look, David King is a proud man. He'd know that he's struggling at this stage. He'll do everything he can to get himself back into the action.
He hasn't been the same since Darren Jarman gave him a hip and shoulder.
Early show last week.
You can just see in the picture there, Zilla, he's just got touch on Harvey. He just won't give him a metre.
Ottens, King.
Gee, it's good ruck work, isn't it?
Ottens has taken charge early in this quarter. Tawney's kicked to centre wing, bit of wrestling. Sinclair busy, to Harvey, back to Sinclair. Sinclair sweeps the handball to Shannon Grant. Had a pretty good first half. Lovely kick to McKernan. Gee, it was a well-weighted kick. Now Carey goes for McKernan. He can't go all the way here, McKernan.
He just led a bit too early, Wayne Carey.
Watch Pickett, boys.
1-on-1 still. That's a shocker.
It's a shocking kick.
He took a punt and went for the big torpedo and it didn't come off, and of course Ottens just sat back in the hole.
Kicks to Knights. Tawney up to centre wing almost here. He has taken more chances in the last few weeks as his confidence has grown. It's a good run by him. He's got the ball all the way inside 50. Carey goes hard at Gasper. Gasper deserves a free kick here.
Yep, that's for a kick, a front-on push. With the flight of the ball. Watch the right hand come in. Oh, look, I reckon that's actually soft looking at it from that angle. It's got him on the upraised arm. Yeah, it's a fortunate one. You knew his intentions to put him off balance.
What do you think Darren Gasper will do?
He wants to give it away.
He won't have a shot. They set up that space so very well. Space behind the man on the mark for a forward to lead into, and of course Richardson, once he gets on the lead, there's no defender in the game that can keep up with him.
It's a good kick by Gasper.
Yeah, and just look, he's just got, once he gets in front, he is so quick. Over 40 metres, he would be in Richmond's top 2 or 3.
What a great shot that was of him. That is typical of the way Richo plays, isn't it? Can he kick a goal? He's capable of anything, this man. Just across the face.
Just want to come back to that. The side-on angle of Richo showed him when he got to the ball how unbalanced he was when he marked it. And that's why on occasions in the past he's done his knee, because he's unbalanced when he lands. Watch this, pure pace, nothing wrong with that. And he's unbalanced when he's taken the ball there. That's how come he's injury prone on a lot of occasions when he lands. Joel Bowden with the ball on the rebound.
Brent Harvey doing the kicking in, and he's just so disappointed with that one. Now this distance will be no problem at all for Joel Bowden.
Could put it back straight over his head, and Harvey knows that.
Spider coming off, Dipper.
Yeah, and also Makepeace is off the ground as well. Rawlings comes on for Spider, and Shannon Monlop replacing Makepeace.
There's the kick.
Yeah, not a good one.
Just a bit flat, wasn't it?
And he kicked it close to the goal line too. He didn't use the square at all, did he? So we're right behind Bowden. Big kick this to give this Tigers breathing space at all. Good, strong kick off the boot. Just missed it though.
And Brent Harvey will breathe a sigh of relief. He goes back to do the kicking in.
Yeah, get back up on that horse, Wolsey.
Yeah. And David King says, no, I'll do it, son.
That's a tap on the foot he's looking for here. He'll go the other side of the square.
Well, that counts as a possession now, doesn't it?
Did well in the end to McCartney. McCartney's slow high kick to McKernan found him, so the Kangaroos have been able to get it almost a centre wing here. And still the Tigers don't put them away at 10-8 to 9-4. Kick to Rocker. Sav was on the interchange for a fair bit of the second term. Play on call. Holland, just a squeezy kick and a boundary throw-in.
Kangaroos need Sav to get going in this third quarter. He's been pretty well held by Darren Gaspar.
4 possessions for him for the night, Walsey. 2 marks only. Kicked a couple. All in the first quarter. Yeah, both in the first quarter.
Ben Holland on him now.
McKernan and Ottens.
Carey's 1 out forward of this with Gaspar.
Clinton King did well from Zilla. Knights worried out of it a bit. Rawlings was the man, ball up.
If they do get a quick break here, the Kangaroos, Carey and Gaspar inside 50, 1 out. Carey might just about overpower him there. And on the other hand, go forward the other way, Richo is looking damaging. He's still got to put it on the board, but he is looking damaging.
Carey almost needs the kick so he can body up Gaspar, doesn't he?
Yep, he doesn't want to be running to it.
So again, a boundary throw-in. So
it's amazing that one. When you're young, you want the ball kicked away from you so you can run to it.
Broderick pushing back into the forward 50, and his opponent is Archer. So he's just trying to take Archer again away from the action.
You'd reckon Dennis Pagan would love to be able to get Archer into almost the midfield at the moment, wouldn't you, the way he's played?
He's a good player, this young fella, Ben Holland. Played over 100 games now for Richmond, but just fills so many roles for them. Centre-half back, centre-half forward, can take a turn in the ruck.
Found Cameron, who finds Richardson up the ground. Kick to Hilton, almost completed the mark. Probably held on to a bit. Burke keeps it in play, hooks it back to about 20 metres. Archer with his eyes on it. Clayton hacks it away. Kangaroos need to find the footy here. Sinclair does. Can he run it out of play? He does. Knights off his boot in the end, boundary throw-in. Hilton still looking for a free kick.
Been pretty good value tonight, Jess Sinclair.
Played on Matthew
possessions.
Knights.
Yeah.
Been a good contest.
10 possessions to 10 possessions. So look, if you break even with his foot skills against Matty Knights, you'd say that's a win for the Kangaroos.
Clinton King's handball only as far as David King.
This is what they need him doing, running down the ground.
Through the centre, not a good kick. Too far for Rocker. It might work in the end. Harvey goes back to Rocker.
McLaren.
Oh, that's a great kick by Rocker to McLaren.
He backed himself, McLaren, Bruce, in that midfield contest when the kick by David King went to Sav Rocker. It went about a metre over his head. It also cleared the Richmond defenders, and McLaren just bolted. He just ran forward in the hope that one of his teammates would win the ball. Not a bad ploy, because it was a 50-50 ball. If his team was to get the footy, which they did, well, he was in a good position. So he's backed himself and it's paid off. Now he's got to kick the goal.
They were stiff, the Tigers. The first touch on that incoming ball made it elude the second Tiger, who was going to gobble it up. Oh.
3 steps. No rhythm, no balance, no momentum.
Retrospectively, he probably should have played on. He had 4 metres up his sleeve, didn't he?
And he would arguably be the quickest man on the ground.
They wouldn't have got him. It would have been an open goal.
That's confidence, though.
I don't think the Tigers have missed out on the kick-ins tonight, boys. I think they spot up every time.
They've done well, Dip. In fact, Tawny's taken a couple of marks from them.
That's time on the ground, what you're talking about with Joey McLaren. Had he played all of the first half, he'd have known his pace against the other players relatively, and he'd have gone on from there.
Kellaway, now Tawny leads for him. This is Andrew Kellaway. He's got a couple of short options.
All his leads are going away from him, Bruce. Nothing's coming at him.
So he's forced to kick to a contest. Holland, good mark.
Archer.
That's a good
Gee, I
mark.
thought Archer had that one from behind.
To Burke. To Gaspar, who's running Carey right up the ground here. Gaspar in the pocket, lovely kick. That is a great kick by Gaspar.
It is a good kick, and he's pretty happy with it, Darren Gaspar. He's been criticised over the years for his disposal, but he's pretty pumped with that one. When I say pumped, he never shows a lot, but you can tell he's really happy that he hit the target.
Well, he's found Richardson twice in this quarter, hasn't he?
And he's running off Wayne Carey. Now, he's taken that ball in Richmond's forward line. A couple of times he's done that, and no doubt the plan would be to exploit Carey.
1 goal 3 to Richardson tonight. He missed an absolute sitter.
Same spot.
So make it 1 goal 4. 4 goals 1, and he'd be in your best 3 or 4 players on the ground probably. He's had 8 marks.
Better than that.
He's had 8 marks, but 1 goal 4.
16 minutes into this third quarter, and the Kangaroos have only scored 1 behind.
But that's been their pattern, Wolsey, for the first 2 quarters. Can they get a bit of a wriggle on here? Big fly came at the back. Punch forward. G. Campbell was good to Chaffee. To Knights. Knights spots up someone and then hooks it back and finds them. Kellaway inboard. Broderick in goal. He's got it. He's kicked 3. That's value for money, isn't it, Broderick?
Well, that's his job in the side now, just to play pretty much as a defensive forward pocket, take good players out of the action, and when you get your opportunity, make sure you score. Duncan Kellaway took the mark. He's been playing on David King. Kellaway was so quick to get the ball off. He didn't want to have a shot. He knew that he was better off to give it to a teammate coming past, and Broderick did the rest.
11-9 to 9-5, 3 goals to Broderick. So the Tigers pitch a break here. McKernan got the handball out.
McKernan into the ruck now, Bruce.
So to go with Ottens here. So that's going to be a big play. Shannon Grant, he saw Carey going, he's hooked it out in front. Carey versus Gasper. Gasper and Carey, well played Carey. Smother came from Holland. Motlop's had no influence. Handball back, Archer, what a goal, what a goal.
Well, if Desire ever kicked a goal, that was it.
Just brute force and effort, and as you called it, Derm, desire. He was not going to let that ball get out.
He's already charged at it once there, and he knew a tackler was coming. He said, "You ain't stopping me."
He's had a good night, Arch, hasn't he?
I asked him once, I said, how tall are you precisely for a key position player? He's 5'11" and 3/4, and he plays like a 6'4".
Well, they've got Corey McKernan in the ruck. Archer's been moved into the forward 50. I think that's a good move because they're a bit top heavy with Sav, Carey and Corey McKernan down there. There's just a little bit more pace at ground level, if you like, and they got a goal through it.
Knight's got it out of the centre to half forward to Campbell. Good hold up, comes back to Zilla. Zilla's got a bit on this to fall forward. Richardson got it. He just keeps marking it. He's taken 9 marks tonight.
He'll try to get this off if he possibly can.
But he has. To Fiora.
And that's just too easy. Like Fiora was 10 metres in the clear, and the Kangaroos just didn't fill that important space.
He's a big player, Richo, isn't he, in all sorts of ways.
Yeah.
It's a great mark. Running back.
Almost got through the grass, but the hands are so big.
And Fiora kicks the goal. So they keep this little advantage of a 2.5, 3 goal margin.
What is it, about 16 points?
Yep.
16. And Fiora ran pretty hard out of the midfield too. I'm not so sure that Shannon Grant wasn't responsible for him on that occasion.
Good play by Broderick, just kept King out of the contest.
Blakey's got him, Aaron Fiora, but I've got a feeling he delegated Shannon Grant on that occasion then to go with him. Could be wrong.
Tigers have got Joel Bowden back on the wing. He spent the last 7 or 8 minutes in the goal square up forward. He's moved back onto the wing, and if he can just strike a little bit of form, I think they could run away with it.
Got 11 possessions combined between David King and Byron Pickett. They just need Pickett hands on, or at least laying tackles.
So 1 kick, Byron Pickett. Every time he's got the ball, he's wanted a handball tonight. He hasn't tried to break the line.
There he is on the inside of screen there. Just watch where he starts. He's starting off the pack, and he's looking to get the ball and use his pace to get away. His work ethic has got to be lay tackles, then get up and chase the ball out. He's starting on the outside tonight, and he's pretty well an inside player.
Jones and Hilton, the unlikely rucks there. Here's Fiora. Kicked the last goal. Loads it up to centre half forward. Richardson front spot. He's got it again.
That is a
He's
super
taken
mark.
10 marks, the big fella.
That's magnificent. That is a pack mark, and the whole pack was coming down on him.
I reckon it's time for Archer to be moved onto Richardson. McCartney's, his opponent's taken 10 or 11 marks. Great kick by Fiora's to square it. McCartney struggling. Archer, we know, is playing full of determination and grit. Time to get Archer back there and McCartney either off the field or up forward.
This is no soda.
Richo off the long run. He's kicked 1 goal 5. 1 goal 5.
Once again, Bruce, he just ran straight at the goal face. He's got to run at the right-hand goal post and just allow his natural kicking action into it. So many of these copybooks say run straight at the target. Sure, if you're learning your action or it's a straight action, but he's a big hook foot.
Harvey got it back from Blakey. And still the Kangaroos are in this match, aren't they?
Yep.
If they get the next goal, well and truly.
And the repercussions for the Tigers are huge if they lose tonight.
I just get a sense that the Kangaroos have absolutely lifted out of that missed kick.
Pickett, well, what's happened to Byron Pickett in the last fortnight?
Wouldn't be surprised if Dennis just says, look, we can't get much out of it. Let's have a look at Richo. And he ends up having to kick it with the outside of his right foot. See how he actually bends the knee and pulls it closer to him? It's just, it's all wrong.
Doesn't drop the ball close enough to his boot. It's a high drop.
Yep, it's all wrong, isn't it?
Look, you can have a lot of conspiracy theories and a lot of theories in footy. Byron Pickett signed a contract a couple of weeks ago. There was talk about him going back to Western Australia. The club signed him on for a couple more years, and last 2 weeks he's just been so unlike Byron Pickett.
Once again, there he is. He's on the right-hand side of the screen, just outside those two players coming in from the right. So he's sitting on the back of the pack again by himself.
Remember Dennis Pagan looking at him and asking him at three-quarter time against the Crows last week?
Yep.
Well, you'd be asking him now, wouldn't you? Archer, terrific stuff. Terrific stuff to Grant. Grant's handball to the running McLaren. Goes short to Rocker. Oh, he had to mark it. He had to mark it. Back to McLaren. Belts at the full forward. Now here's Pickett. He's a chance against Gasper. Gasper did well.
He did do well, Gasper. He just played the percentages. He knew if he just got a touch on that football, it would go out of bounds and he'd have the result that he wanted.
He does look sore to me, Pickett.
He is sore, I reckon, Bruce.
He just hasn't got that zing.
Yep.
Need a goal, the Kangaroos. Carey out of the air. Held on to, got the handball away. Harvey's good enough. He's good enough from there. No, it's a behind.
Good effort by Carey, wasn't it? He caught that ball at the boundary throw in and just with sheer strength was able to get that handball out.
He still got tackled by a couple of them and still got it away.
Brent Harvey this year, 17 goals, 19. So he's had a lot of shots.
Yeah, 1 out of every 2 on average. We have a look at this. Richmond are having a huddle here, straight down the middle. It's a little bit of a spine huddle, and now they spread, and unless there's nothing straight up the middle here.
Searching kick from Cameron. Tawney's the go-to, but Sinclair's taken it to Carey. Carey's little one. Gee, McLaren's busy, isn't he?
Yes, he'd be disappointed Sav dropped that pass. It was a great pass by McLaren.
Archer's on.
He's going to find him in the pocket. He's had to go really deep, though. It's a bad angle.
Go back and have a shot.
Kick 2, Archer. He's in form. Why not?
Yeah, 50-50 from there.
It just seems at the MCG, when you kick from that pocket, I reckon that is probably the most suitable pocket. It seems to be the least deep pocket on the MCG. It just sends you a little bit closer out to the goal face from there. I don't know what it is. It might be the elevation or whatever. Theoretically, it shouldn't be any different from the other 3.
Well, if he kicks this, the Kangaroos are within 2 goals again. Archer's kicked 2 tonight.
In close.
It's a good kick. Gee, it's a close kick. He's just missed it at the post.
Dipper, Wayne Campbell's left the field.
Yeah, he certainly has. Just getting looked at by the trainer at the moment. He's had one of those nights, just having a bit of a rest there.
Look at this angle. What great camera work.
Great shot.
It's hit the button.
Hit the knob.
Last week we hit the knob too, didn't we?
Yeah, Chrissy Tarrant got it.
Doesn't make it easier for the goal umpire when it hits the top.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tigers in a dangerous game here and not being able to put away the Kangaroos. Tawney gang tackled, and I reckon you're right, Dermot. They've lifted a bit since Richardson's misses.
Yep.
Wayne Campbell just getting his thumb taped up. Wolsey, his right thumb, but he'll be okay.
They're the #1 tackling team in the competition, the Kangaroos, and we just saw a good example of it there. This will test young Petrie up against Ottens.
Zilla having a pretty good night. To centre wing. Richardson having a great night, except he hasn't been able to kick a goal, but he's got a free kick against McCartney for hanging on.
What's the intensity like down there, Dipper, in a word?
Sorry, Dermot, what was
What's the
that?
intensity like down there of the Kangaroos? They seem to have lifted.
Yeah, they certainly have, Dermot, especially after that first 10 minutes of the first quarter. They're still in this game, don't worry about that.
Richardson's kick is a good one to Ottens.
Yeah,
Maybe not after this goal.
Ottens ran 80 metres to get down into the forward 50. He's on young Petrie, and Richo waited, and they play to each other a lot, the two big men. A lot of respect. And once he's out in front, he's a hard man to stop.
In the end, their finals chances are going to rest with Richardson and Ottens, aren't they?
Absolutely.
They're the absolute keys to Richmond's success.
They are. If these two fellows have quiet days, chances are they won't win.
That's their trump cards, isn't it? Now, this is a tough... I reckon this is a tough kick for him.
Come on, Dermot, put one of your houses on it like you did his first goal.
Come on, Dib, I've just given away a couple. It's Monopoly.
He's kicked 2 Ottens. He is a beautiful kick.
Nice strike.
And that one, he's just hooked it a bit off the boot. So 2-1 to Ottens, 1-5 to Richardson. And the margin is back to 16 points. 12 goals, 11 to 10-7.
Matthew Knight's just coming from the field. With Knights and Campbell off, Danny Frawley would be thinking about giving him a bit of a spell before the all-important last quarter.
It's a good kick in by King to find Teague. Teague at half-back. Slow old kick to centre wing. Trying to get to Carey. At the back, Harvey. Can he make it sit up for him? He's a bit out of sorts, Harvey, isn't he?
Yep.
He would have made the footy talk a fortnight ago.
16 possessions for him tonight, only 8 of them by foot.
Tawney. Good kick out in front to Kellaway.
Become a much improved player, Jason Tawney.
Burke's on down the line for...
Richardson's run a mile to get to the wing.
He's going to kick towards Richo and he's got him.
So McCartney's just got to go with him all the way. In the end, McCartney didn't think they'd give it to Richo. Richo ran 80 metres to take that mark.
Oh, good.
Gasper the target. Well played, Petrie. Important bit of play coming up here. Broderick to Chaffee. Can they cut it off the Kangas? They might. Clayton. They need a goal. Down low, Carey. Can he use it? He does. Grant wants to go on. He's got Pickett running. He's going to go to him and he's got him. Oh no, he fell over. They were in then and now they're out because Cameron finds Kellaway. Kellaway might turn it over to McLaren. He's got players everywhere. Archer's the go-to. He's got Clayton on short. He's got Grant on short. I reckon he fancies himself here, Archer.
He's got Spider on short as well. I think he's got too many options. In the end, go back and have a shot yourself.
I reckon he's like somebody going to the pocket to shout a drink. He's out-fumbled everyone and he has to go the long shot now.
Huge kick this. We haven't got long to go in this quarter. We're inside the last minute. We've got 30 seconds less. Archer's been the best player for the Kangaroos tonight. If he kicks this, you'd reckon they're a real chance to win. On 50, he's wobbled it, and hit the post again for the second time.
He'd be disappointed. He's worked his guts out tonight, Glenn Archer.
Who's won this quarter, boys? Obviously the Tigers because they've had more shots, but that McLaren miss has really just kept the Kangaroos out of this quarter, I think.
Yeah, they've gone from 2-point lead to a 15-point lead in this third quarter, the Tigers.
But there's no real zing in the Tigers as well, is there?
No. It's a gettable margin here for the Roos.
30-minute mark of this third quarter. Kangas desperately need to get a goal before the bell.
Seconds left in this third quarter. I doubt we'll have an addition to the score.
Well, it's set up, isn't it? For an upset, I reckon, even though Richmond are 2.5 goals in front. They're not out of it.
Now, Danny Frawley would be very worried. They haven't been able to put the Kangaroos away, and that's credit to the Kangaroos.
Down to the final quarter, Friday night footy. A lot to play for here. As Darren Crocker said, we've got a lot more to play for than the Kangaroos. And he should know, being an ex-Kangaroo player in their glory times in the mid-90s with Dennis Pagan. King gets it. That's David King floating to half forward. Front spot was Archer. What a game he's played. Takes the ball on. Gets away from Ottens. Kicks to Pickett. Got it. He's got it.
Well, the Tigers have started each of the first 3 quarters by kicking the early goals, and the Kangaroos have played catch-up footy from there. This will be a reversal of trend here, and you would wonder what it might do to the demeanour of the Richmond players. Look at Glenn Archer here. Get out of my way. That is fantastic to see a bloke just screw up his face and say, no one is stopping me.
Well, the man with the ball, his confidence is down in recent weeks, but his goal kicking over the season has been accurate. He's kicked 34 goals, 8 behinds.
Kicks from 50.
Third kick for the night.
Missed it.
Sums up his last few weeks, doesn't it?
Slipped over again on the kick there. Just seemed to shift a bit on his stationary foot.
Won't say he looks disinterested because there's Benny Gale. But it's almost like he's observing rather than participating at the moment, Byron Pickett.
His starting position is on the outside, the furthest on the outside of each pack.
So the Tigers breathe a sigh of relief. Not a good kick in though. Jones in the front spot with a bit of a chance. It was interesting, their bench at the end of that quarter. They had Bowden on the bench with Knights and Campbell and obviously Benny Gale.
I'm sure it was to give those three-gun midfielders a chance to have a really good break at three-quarter time, an extra 4 or 5 minutes just before they went into the three-quarter time break.
Tivendale's lost a bit of ground in the last 6 weeks, hasn't he? Sitting it out again.
Burke on the bench with him.
Here's Broderick. He's probably gained a bit of ground. 31 years of age in the last few weeks.
That was better by Byron there. Didn't actually get a hand on the back of Broderick, but he chased him pretty hard there with intent to catch.
I'm just looking at his boots at the moment, boys. Keeps slipping over tonight. He's wearing screw-ins tonight, so surprisingly.
How does he seem to use
He's a bit flat, obviously, but as German said then, he certainly showed a bit of pace then.
Otten's front spot. He's had a good match. Shannon Grant, tackle on him from Broderick. McLaren had a terrific third quarter.
Good pace.
Very important player. Kicks him to the back of Spider Burton.
That's got to hurt. That has to hurt. I know he's not flinching, but that would hurt, Wolsey.
That'd hurt Dermot, but McLaren has got himself into the game. He's made a few errors, but gee, he's starting to win the ball. His pace will help the Kangaroos in the last quarter, but Ottens is rucking really well. I think Spider's got his worries with the young ruckman.
Burton looking for a free kick. He's got it. It's one way of getting back into it, Wolsey.
Well, he just made sure that Ottens didn't get a clean run at the footy. Just put his body in front, and you can see he's got the two arms back now.
Not a lot of beef on him, is there?
No.
Corey.
McKernan, Jones from the side. So Rocker and McKernan between them, unable to. And here's Kellaway. How big's the first goal in this quarter?
Huge.
You reckon the Tigers get it? They're probably safe. Probably safe. If Kangaroos get it, it's an even money ball game.
Well, they've had 3 cracks at catch-up footy in the first 3 quarters, the Kangaroos, and haven't done it.
Duncan Kellaway just been terrific tonight. You've got to remember, he hasn't played AFL for 12 weeks and he hasn't missed a beat tonight, been on for the full game time.
Now the free kick goes to Ottens.
And that just shows how hard he must have worked over the last 3 months to keep his fitness up.
So Ottens' little hand... No, is it going to Knights, is it? So it must be the free kick to Knights. Against Sinclair, perhaps. So what's in front of him?
So he's got some tall timber up forward, the Kangaroos. It's almost like there's so many of them, big guys, that they're going to... Oh, what a catch! What a grab!
How good was that? Richardson, spectacular, but played on. McKernan held on to. McKernan goes to ground. They need a goal here. Handball out. Sinclair goes back. Shannon Grant. Too far for Pickett. Missed him. Gee, they had a chance here, the Kangas. Richardson's mark was fantastic, but like his night tonight, he just hasn't finished much. Here he is again, Richo, with McCartney. Goes to Fiora, to Bowden. Still Bowden, sweeps it, back to Holland, back to Gasper. Gasper searching, decides to load up, and hooks it through from behind.
Well, the boys in the van know we're going to ask for that grab again.
Fabulous mark, absolutely brilliant.
I don't think he got much of a ride either. That was just natural leap.
What a game. If he kicked 5 goals, it would be one of the great games of the year he's played so far.
12 marks he's taken.
Stunning.
So Harvey away. And still, North Melbourne, the Kangaroos are close enough to be of real nuisance value to a team desperate to get into the top 4 tonight.
17 possessions to Glenn Archer coming up for the 18th.
He and Richardson arguably the best 2 men on the ground, aren't they? Harvey's handball to McKernan. Harvey getting involved here. McKernan to fall forward. Rocker, well done by Ottens. He's been good as well.
He's been terrific in getting back there. He knows that there's Sav Rocker. He knows McKernan's back there, and Brad Ottens just ran 80 metres to get back in that defensive 50 to mark.
Bowden's kick to Broderick. Every time the Kangaroos go forward and kick to the hot spot, you expect to see Carey, but you're just not seeing him as much tonight contesting, are you?
Mark number 13.
Richo just works so hard. McCartney can't go with him on the run to the ball.
dangerous kick. It comes off. Tawney wants to go, and he does now, and then carefully kicks it and finds his target, Zilla, to kick a goal. 45 metres out. The little fella pumps it with all he's got, and he misses. Well, he's probably not the best finisher in the game. In fact, he isn't the best finisher in the game. And still, they can't put the Kangaroos away.
Oh, Kingy's lazy on that one.
Sloppy kick to Teague. Finds Archer. It's the best game Archer's played this year.
It is. Need him at both ends of the ground, don't they? Because McCartney's struggling, but they need Archer up forward now to have any chance of winning, I'd say.
McLaren continues to be important here. Kick to the pocket, Rocker underneath. At the back, McKernan. Does he keep it in? No, it's out. Well, what can Carey, Rocker and McKernan do for the Kangaroos in the last quarter?
One thing they have to do is not all lead to the same position. The other ball that came in, the long high one, they all took themselves and their opponents to the fall of the ball. They obviously have to quickly nut out each other and work out that they've got to make alternative leads.
Sav against Holland here.
Lays it down, Simpson, who we haven't seen much of actually. Back to Zilla. Archer's got it. He might want to play on here. He's got a real head of steam up here, Archer. Started the last quarter like he began the first. Up and under kick, wants a high flyer, not coming as a Bowden's mark. Now the advantage given, Bowden away. He with Archer was the outstanding player in the first 15 minutes of the game. He loads it up. Richardson, Archer and McCartney. Archer, well done.
Chaffee off now, boys, for the Tigers, and Timmendale now picking up Joey McLaren.
Do you give the Kangaroos any chance from down there?
I do, Bruce. They've just got to kick this goal.
Clayton's kick to full forward. Grant outnumbered. Holland at the back. Simpson. Simpson, can he get it out to Jones or back to Grant? Grant's good at this. He's done it. They've got it. They're a chance.
They've made hard work of it, Wolsey. Get in there.
They have Dermot, but Glenn Archer, how good's he been in this final quarter? He just keeps bobbing up with the footy.
I'm trying to work out whether they're actually trying to hide all their tall timber in the forward line and just leave the true centre half forward post to Glenn Archer. He's searching up the field and supplying the relief target to the backman coming out of their end of the ground under pressure. Great game.
Well, Archer's been outstanding, hasn't he?
He has just been terrific in this final term. Andy Callaway's got the responsibility of holding him, but he's red hot at the moment.
Tigers have got the Bombers next week. They need to win this desperately to hold their position where they are in the 8.
8 minutes into the final term, Glenn Archer's had 5 kicks and 3 marks in this final quarter.
Richmond lose tonight and lose to the Bombers next week. There's a good chance they'll be 7th or 8th at the end of this home and away season.
Corey now in the ruck, boys. Burton off and Motlop on, the young fella.
Numbers around the ball. Throw a blanket over 25, 26 players.
Dennis Swansea's old man-on-man principle here.
Here's the first time we've seen Pickett really go. And go he does. Really goes.
The big man kept up with him.
Ottens was magnificent, wasn't he? He was absolutely brilliant, this man.
That could be the turning point of this game.
That was as good a chase as you've seen. Hilton up the front from Teague. Cameron's handball to King. Back to Cameron. Inside 50. They need to stop it here, the Kangas. Blakey. He's like old man River, isn't he? Kicks the ball back to centre wing. Gee, the game's lifted suddenly. To Simpson. Bangs it forward. McKernan. Can he do it? Belted away. Holland back there with Tawney and a boundary throw-in.
Couldn't have a look at this. It is a great chase. He didn't have the pace to match him, but he knew, okay, he's got to come back in. The boundary line's forcing him. Just got a hand on him.
He was terrific, Brad Otten. Just magnificent. I tell you what, he might have run out of petrol tickets, though.
He's probably saying, where's Benny Gale?
That's his chase.
Well, Benny wouldn't have got there, I can assure you.
Give me a rest on the bench. Over the top was young Motlop, but it wasn't effective. And then Ben Holland towards the line. Just reckon Harvey could be a key here. He's starting to look sharp, Harvey.
These ones were the boundary line throw-in especially now. He's running a bit flat at the moment, but this boundary line throw-in, he's the one who needs to get hands on.
Ottens has dropped back to the wing with McKernan, just catching his breath. So it's Sav against Ben Holland.
Sav got rid of him with a shove. Kangaroos inside 50 here.
Yeah, this should suit the Kangaroos with Sav doing the ruck work against Ben Holland.
If it gets tight and in close here, Watch for Glenn Archer's strength as well.
Yeah, and watch for Adam Simpson over the top in the ruck contest. Wayne Campbell's awake to it. He's dropped back towards the goals because he knows that this is a ploy that the Kangas often use.
Simpson has touched it a few times lately. Harvey, clever kick. Here's a goal coming up. It's there. Clayton's got it.
Oh, Tigers, they've got to enter the finals. They've got to enter the finals with a win out of the last 2 games. They want 4th spot.
Now this is the ruck contest, and it was Motlop who came over the top. It's something that Kangaroos do all the time in their forward line. They have numbers around the ball. They have a ruckman lean on the opposition ruckman, and someone comes over the top, belts it into the space. That is a well set up goal.
Gee, it's like an old broken record for Tiger fans. It's how familiar they got themselves into this.
What beautiful hands
spot
by Simpson as well.
Simpson and Harvey have lifted, haven't they? Grant's kicked to half forward. They haven't been in front all night, the Kangaroos. He's got a free kick. Carey's got a free kick.
How clever was that? He knew that Gasper was committed to tackling him. He's going to go the journey here. Open goal square.
It's coming back. It's not a bad kick. It's a chance. It's a goal. I think Carey's put them in front. The King has put them in front. Oh, what an effort this has been from a team that was down and out.
Well, Wayne Carey's kicked the goal, and every Kangaroo player, they just lift, not only because of the goal, but because of the man who kicked it.
Did that through guile, didn't he?
He did. And shepherding on the goal line. Let's see who did the hard bullocking work.
Big Sav.
Rory Hilton off. We see Danny Frawley on screen there on the phone, and Chaffee on for the Tigers.
Don't worry, Danny Frawley would be thinking next week we've got Essendon. We cannot afford to go limp into the finals with 2 losses.
Kangaroos have hit the front for the first time. Grant's kicked the centre half forward. Chappie couldn't mark it. Carey, left foot. It won't be a goal. Jones and Pickett, they outnumber them. It's a behind.
Tailor-made for Byron Pickett now. Just to run amok, lay some tackles, hold it in under pressure. There he is on screen.
Kangaroos have won every centre bounce clearance this quarter.
Shannon Grant's been superb.
Well,
blood rule.
Wayne Campbell coming off, and Dipper, plenty of action at the interchange for
Yeah,
Richmond.
certainly. Once again, Richmond make another move. We've got Burke on and Fiora off the ground, and Wayne Campbell, a player who seems to not be able to get in the game the last couple of weeks.
13 possessions tonight, Dipper.
Yeah, Normby's up the 20 mark, Dermot. Here's another move. Clinton King coming off as well, and Rory Hilton back on.
Well,
plenty of moves down here.
There's been 3 changes in about 30 seconds, so Danny Frawley really coaching at the moment. But have a look at the inside 50s. Kangaroos 10-3, and I think they've won every centre bounce.
Ty Zantark on for the first time tonight.
They need some body presence in the centre circle, don't they? The bounce downs. Just even someone like Duncan Kellaway to be in there.
He's gone too long.
long.
Has he got it too long? He's been there too long, Leon Cameron, so it's going to be a bounce in the goal square.
And that's good zone defence pressure that the Kangaroos put on, because Leon Cameron was desperately trying to find a target, and the Kangaroos had them all covered, so he just hesitated too long. Umpire will bounce it.
Haven't kicked a goal, the Tigers, since the 19.5-minute mark of the third quarter, and we're at the 15-minute mark of the last now. Goal here would make it tough, if it's not tough enough already. Bowden, well played, very well played, but he finds the line, maybe. Burke finds it now, Blakey. And what the Tigers have done has given the Kangaroos a real sniff, haven't they?
Well,
and suddenly everyone's lifted.
Kangaroos are playing on adrenaline now. You told us, Bruce, that Kangaroos' last quarter over the season has been pretty awful, but they wouldn't be thinking about that. They'd be thinking, hey, we're in front, we've got a sniff.
It's a real sniff here, out of play.
And I'll tell you what, there's something that, well, the Kangaroos would probably know it because of their experience in finals and pressure games. You will not get an easy free kick from here on in, so don't go looking for them.
Boundary throw in. Motlop held up by Tawney.
Good body there by Corey McKinnon.
Just the energy level of the Tigers. You almost feel as if the message hasn't got through to them tonight, that what's at stake.
But gee, they They almost blew them off the face of the map in the first 20 minutes of the first quarter. That was their best footy for the whole evening.
Well, they got a dream start. They led before the first bounce.
Yep.
Because Broderick was given a free kick in the goal square. Burke's made a mess of this. And it'll be a boundary throw-in.
Just trying to be a tiny bit cute there, David Burke.
Campbell getting ready to come back on, boys. And
Rogers,
yeah, thanks, boys.
Well, Adam Simpson's done a pretty good job on Wayne Campbell tonight. Campbell's come onto the ground going into the forward line.
Motlop, this is Daniel Motlop, goes back. Harvey, boundary throw-in.
Looks a bit sore there, Robert. He's got his right shoulder all taped up, his thumb's taped up as well, and not moving freely, Campbell, that is.
Well, Campbell's gone to the goal square for Richmond. Does Dennis Pagan send Simpson back there and continue the tag?
Ottens, he's at the wrong end of the ground, basically, for the Tigers. The kick by Chaffee. Arch has been outstanding, absolutely outstanding boundary throw-in.
I think you've got to leave Simpson at the ball, Wolsey.
Yeah, it's interesting. The runner's going out to Campbell now and telling him to get into the action. So Campbell, who went to the goal square, now going towards the centre of the ground.
And Makepeace has been pushed back by David King, and King will be picking him up.
When's the last time the Tigers had the ball inside their 50? A long time ago. Pickett, Burke. Burke's got it now. Kick out wide, finds the target. Kellaway, Andrew Kellaway. Up to half-back here. They just need some flowing football. It's all static, isn't it?
Absolutely. They've got no run-receive handballs this quarter.
Now, Burke will go to Gasper. Gasper's away from Rocker.
No run-receive again. He'll just have to play on and look for the kick.
Kick over the top. King's got it. The signs are not good here. King's away. Well, he's kicked to space in the one. Burke getting back, doesn't take the mark. Archer will be onto him. Run him out. Oh, gee, that's how to play.
Good pressure by Archer. Great pressure by Archer. King was pretty good, you know, Dermot. He knew he had no one to go to, so he just kicked it as far as he possibly could. That extra metre or two on the ball meant that Burke couldn't mark it.
19.5-minute mark was the last Tiger goal of the third quarter. Last goal of this match for them. A 17.5-minute mark now. That's a full quarter ago.
Good ruck work by Sav.
Throw.
Now Burke's been pushed forward now, boys, and Blakey picking him up.
Yeah, inside 50s this final term, 12-3.
Once again, look at the blood rule. But you have a look at this when we resume here. Oh, there's a little bit of a mess coming from the nose. You see Wayne Campbell, he'll chip sideways or he'll have to kick down the line to somebody. Nobody's willing to run back around the back of him just to get handball motion.
Blood on the ball here, Tim.
Going.
So the ball's going to be wiped and changed. Remember Corey Jones last week against the Crows got bandied right up, didn't he?
Yep.
With the blood rule. Now Motlop to come on, Shannon Motlop.
They're going to huddle like a kick in. Except Wayne Campbell will have it from the back pocket from a stationary kick, and they'll huddle 50 metres down the line.
Just there on the wing, you've got Ottens and his opponent, Corey McKernan. I think that Pagan has to stick with McKernan on Ottens, because if Burton goes with Ottens, Ottens will just run him ragged. So I think that's the matchup for the rest of the game.
They've spread now.
Campbell out wide, finds Kellaway. Duncan Kellaway at half-back.
And this is not the man you want it with. If he's going to try and spot someone up, that's good.
Can Richardson take another mark? Holland. Oh, Rocket's taken a beauty. Sav.
See, with a grab like that, Sav, go back and have a shot.
Shot for goal.
Doesn't get onto it, but he kicks it 70 metres, and McKernan works to the front. Ball at the back. Tawney.
Good chance for the Tigers. They've got to switch a play here.
Cameron's kicked about, and Clayton's got to spoil him. He does, effectively. The handball doesn't come out from Zilla.
He said he threw it.
Harvey's free kick. Gee, the signs are not good for the Tigers here, are they?
Well, that was their best chance there, and Shane Clayton did a very good defensive spoil on what looked a certain Bowden mark.
Harvey to Makepeace. Makepeace is almost a chance. Shocking kick. The bounce so important here. Daniel Motlop. Tackle came from Tawney. Just Daniel Motlop hasn't had a kick yet. He just hasn't seemed to be with it in terms of the pace of the match, does he?
Yeah, no, he hasn't got the tempo. It's his first game in. One handball for him. Corey just got under it once again.
Does it a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah, a little nudge by Kellaway there to put him out of it. Well done.
Ottens. Archer hasn't quite taken possession, takes them on physically, and then belts the ball back to full forward. McKernan. Mark to Campbell.
Good mark.
It's a disappointing result for the Kangaroos. The Kangaroos lose it. You reckon they've lost it in the last 5 minutes? They've had some chances, haven't they?
They've had their chances. Well, inside 50s, 14-3.
They've just controlled the ball in their own forward line.
Ottens to centre wing. Richardson and McCartney. Oh, he's just too good, Richard. 14 marks. Been outstanding, except he's kicked 1 goal 5.
For holding it in their back line that long and not conceding too many goals, you've got to take your hat off to the Tigers' defence.
Gee, Rocker was important there. Second effort was fantastic because the Tigers were in there, so forcing it out.
And Darren Gasper ran all the way down. He dragged Wayne Carey down to the Richmond forward line, and now Carey's taking him back the other way.
Holland to Zilla. Throw again, I thought, to Tivendale, to full forward. Burke versus Blakey. Blakey punches it away. Got a good bounce. Played it beautifully. Finds the line.
The Kangaroos making another change on the bench here. Look like the Pickett's coming off there, boys. Run across the middle of the ground.
Now they're cancelling it, Dip. Yeah, he was meant to come off Byron Pickett, but they've said cancel that one. So he gets a reprieve.
Otten's dangerous here. Otten's dangerous in the ruck.
Front spot. Tried to get it to Knights. Did well. Kicks to full forward. Otten's bouncing ball. Trapped cleverly by Richardson. Wonderful stuff, Richardson. Magnificent. Absolutely brilliant, but he just misses.
He liked it too. He liked it off the boot, Richard.
It was a fabulous effort, wasn't it?
1 goal 6.
And again, Wolsey and Dermott. It was Ottens and Richardson that created something, didn't they?
Desperate lunge by McCartney in the end there. Just did enough.
Yeah, Richard's coming off, boys. He's hurt here.
Gee, what do you reckon it is, Dick?
Just no idea at the moment. I'll just...
Gee, I tell you what.
And Broderick's also coming off, boys. So
it's a blood rule.
than me. That's what it is.
Just a blood, is it?
I tell you what, he actually stood on Jason McCartney's wrist then. I reckon there'll be a couple of stop marks on McCartney's wrist after that contest.
This is a very big kick in, isn't it?
Oh, it's got to find the target. King's got a lot of room here. Kellaway on the mark. He'll be looking. He'll call them into a huddle, and he's calling them out to the right. That means he'll probably like to tap it on his foot, give himself space. He'll get the shepherd down the line.
Well, he's kicked to Tigers everywhere, so it's not a good result.
They should have known what he was up to. He does it every week.
Cameron short. Gee, this would be ironical if Duncan Kellaway goes back and kicks a winning goal.
I can't see Duncan making the distance from there. He'd love to give it off if he possibly could.
10 goals in his career.
Matthew Knights might say, handball it to me, I'll kick it for you, Duncan.
Here goes Richo.
He's back on. I'll tell you what, if Duncan Kellaway kicks the winning goal, it'd be like getting beheaded by a pocket knife.
He's going short to Ottens. Not going to get there. McKernan held up. Doesn't get it out. Does now. David King lifting a bit here. Almost out of play. It is. Tigers are in trouble here. They led by 33 points in the first quarter. They've had a lead all night. They are in deep trouble.
And Richardson, it looks like he'll do the ruck work. Ottens has put himself in the goal square. Corey McKernan gone with him.
Richardson. Handball back to Cameron. They need to keep a cool head. Burke and Blakey. Blakey worked him underneath. Free kick to the Kangas, is it? Hanging on against Kellaway, I think.
Gee, they'll be desperately trying to get a switch of play here.
If they come down this line, straight down the line again, Wolsey, it's going to go straight back at them. They really need to switch it up and try and get some run out of the back line.
He's got Richardson. If he comes along the line, he's got Richardson. That's the problem. Umpire saying, hurry up and kick it.
Gets it long now. Carey might be a chance. Archer's a fly at the back. Oh, Richardson again. This is one of the great performances in terms of...
Nobody's on the mark.
Plays on Carey. Hard at him. Big turnover. Motlop. They can carry it here. That's his first kick in league footy. Gets it to 50. Oh, well played. That was a...
Tyzanta.
Yeah, did well.
First touch.
To Holland. To Gasper. He's got to go right to Campbell, I think.
Yep.
He does. They're a long way from home though, aren't they?
Tivendale on the lead.
Fiora now. Slips. Taken by Makepeace. Carey, can he take it? He's got it.
Duncan Kellaway off, Hilton back on.
Gee, is this like a haunting effect on the Tigers? I mean, every year they finish ninth. They're in it this year.
He can't pick it off the ground, sorry, mate.
Okay, are they just due to limp into the finals now? I hope they go in with purpose.
Archer's pushed forward. He's got Sev as the long option. Archer, the shorter one.
Well, Dennis has given up on Byron Pickett. They need running players, and he's taken Pickett off.
Corey McKernan's gone deep as well, so he's got two long options. I reckon he'll go long. He's signalling that.
Carey gives it all he's got to centre half forward. Burton, Ottens, Jess Sinclair kicks it out on the full.
Just with Byron Pickett, he looks very properly Dermot. He's got no run left in him whatsoever.
Yep. Hasn't given much run tonight, but they're looking for running players, the Kangaroos, and all that Dennis Pagan could replace him with was Spider Burton. He's not going to give him much run.
So Matthew Knights from the back pocket. They haven't kicked a goal in almost 40 minutes of footy here, the Tigers. They need one.
If they do, it'll win them the game.
Tivendale into the centre to Gasper. He plays on. It's a good play. Through the centre. Here's a chance. He's given it to the best man, Cameron. He's almost within range. He's going to go for it. Go for goal. Can Richo do it again? Yes, he can. Have you seen anything better than this in terms of marking? Ever?
Bruce, I've been saying it for years. He'll kick 15 goals one day when he gets his right kicking boot going. But tonight we've seen one of the best marking exhibitions you could wish to see.
17 marks he's taken. Don't forget that he's kicked 1 goal, 6, and he's missed from this range earlier tonight. This to put the Tigers in front.
Well done. What a game. What a game Big Matty Richardson's played.
It's a good play by Leon Cameron. Didn't rush it. He ran, he carried, lifted his eyes. He saw Richardson running back, and he put it to the top of the goal square, and Richo did the rest.
3 minutes exactly remaining.
16 marks, Matthew Richardson. Pretty important centre clearance.
Kangaroos have won them all so far in this quarter. Done it again. McLaren decides not to handball. Get something on that to centre half forward. Oh, Holland, Millie. Ball hit the ground. Play on call. Probably the right call. Kangaroos still with a chance. Strong tackle. They keep it in. Can they get it out? It's like a rugby game. The ball comes out. Harvey's good. Throws it almost. Grant pulled down. No free kick. Tigers are away.
Clever tap by foot by Carey to get it out into space, but the Tigers have turned it around now.
Zilla to Kellaway.
Gasper running hard through the middle of the ground. Carey 10 metres behind him.
17 marks to Richardson. 17, that is.
It's been a while since we've seen a 20-mark player for the game. He might get an easy one back here. No, he's not going. He's going to run forward here, Matty Richardson.
Bowden marks the spot.
They've got to press man on man now, the Kangaroos, if they're to make a show of it.
It's a pretty good call, Wolsey, at the start of the night, saying that Richardson was on the rise. I mean, couldn't get any higher than what he's done tonight.
They've done that well there. Knights ran behind Bowden and then just gained the extra 15 metres. All the Tigers are thinking about at the moment is keeping possession, running the clock down.
The clock says 29 and a half minutes. They don't know exactly how long there is to go.
Gee, it's been a game, hasn't it?
Well, to find a teammate, possession footy, it's with the right man, Matty Richardson. Can't get one, goes to the boundary.
Holland's got it.
Played a pretty good game, Ben Holland. Been on Sav Rocker all night. Not a bad option from, well, again, they're shorting it. Sinclair's just got a man up Knights. That's 2 marks that Knights has taken in the last 20 seconds.
They'll be 4th tonight if they win here. They'll be 4th tonight. And they could stay there if Hawthorn lose to Adelaide. They will.
If he has to kick long, he'll kick long towards the boundary line.
That's Gasper and Carey. They're in the forward pocket. Clinton King. 50 metres out, centre and kick, Gasper, Carey, Blakey belts it away, Campbell's had a quiet night, Simpson, one hand, Kangaroos probably only one more chance, Tivendale waits for good tackle,
It's just about holding the ball. But as we said, umpires won't pay any free kicks in this pressure last quarter.
Look at them there, the Tiger faithful. They've been full of hope for 20 years since the last premiership, and good on them too. They're going to the finals. It's whether they enter in 4th or 5th spot.
Burton, Simpson, can the Kangas take it down the end of the ground? Harvey, can McKernan take the mark? Daniel Motlop drops it. Handball by Holland to Cameron, to Hilton. Hilton at centre wing.
It's unfortunate it was the first game kid that had to go at that one. Just didn't have the tempo or the flight.
It's all over. The Tigers have won.
Well done, Danny. He breathes a big sigh of relief. Oh, the hand goes through the hair, which has got, I think it's got greyer tonight. Wayne Campbell congratulating his players. Wayne Carey on screen there, over on the haunches. Played well tonight, Carey. And they'll be yelling out yellow and black in a few seconds.
Wayne Carey, centre-half back for the first 15 minutes of the game. You wonder what it would have been like, what the result would have been had he been forward line for the full 100 minutes.
Well, they've lost by 4 points. Dennis Bacon coming down onto the ground, and we had a free kick before the first bounce. That man was fantastic, Glenn Archer. Had a free kick and goal before the first bounce of the game, and they've lost by less than a goal too. I tell you what, you get value for money if you're a Tiger supporter. You experience every one of life's emotions each game. Oh. Well done, Spud. Well done, Tigers.
Well, a lot of these players will be playing in their first finals campaign. And Atley, Duncan Kellaway back, terrific. Atley's Matthew Richardson, who hasn't played a finals match ever, will be playing in September this year. What a game, what a finish, what a result. In the end, the Tigers by 4 points.